And next thing you know, you just have 10 drunk people, drunk scientists just taking random spiders they captured and just dropping them in radioacid, bins.
The thing you said at the end there was radioacid bins, so I just got the imagination of scientists like dumping spiders into acid. Like, something's gonna happen, right? And they all just melt. It's like, something's happened. I know it's coming. Something good's gonna come with this. Just you wait. And they're just sitting there looking at a barrel of acid for like a month and nothing happens. Oh, God. Anyway, so are we all ready?
I've been ready yet.
Glad you're bringing the enthusiasm again, Poison.
I don't know. It sounds like you're about to
I just
go to
woke
sleep
up.
again.
Yeah.
No, I just woke up from like 4 hours.
Well, don't worry. Last we left off, you just fell asleep. So this is actually chronologically consistent.
Yeah.
I just beamed G-Gundam into your head while you were sleeping.
Yeah, no, I just had like
you know
this
what?
cute little story where I slept.
No, here's the secret. He didn't watch GT. He watched G-Gundam instead. That's what that was. Okay, let's be honest.
I don't know about any dragons you saw. I only saw one dragon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you brought so much to the last one.
Yeah, I just remember everything.
You literally said, "Don't talk to me," and then went to bed.
Anyways, welcome back to what I'm assuming is going to be the third arc of ASC. There's arcs now. This is the third arc. We're going to have like 50 by the time this is over.
What the fuck does ASC stand for?
Anime Show Club. We decided this episode 1. How do you not know your own lore?
I don't. What?
Look, we're like the no. Here, Shadow. I'll explain it. This is how he doesn't remember. We're like the original Destiny game. Okay, and our lore's on a separate website.
And every arc we change.
And we forgot to create, an account for that website. So we didn't have access to the website that had all the information about us.
So every arc we just change our
history.
lore. That's what we're gonna do now. Just like
I didn't change the lore. I'm just saying it's kept on a separate website.
I'm just saying you had to make some personal effort, you fucking gamers. Get the fuck out. Meet some people. Discover our lore.
Wow.
Where'd you go off then? Anyways, welcome back to ASC. If you don't know the purpose of this, because it's the third arc
This is the
now,
first time we said this.
shut up, because I was interrupted, and you're
Every single
continuing
time.
to interrupt.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
Welcome back to the third
Why
time
are you
we've
so
done this
grumpy?
now. Third arc. Three.
Sounds like you just woke up.
Three. We keep adding threes to this. We're gonna get to the arc of 13, and we're all gonna become Skaven. It's fine.
Well, wait, we could be China, and we could be just that, but
No,
6.
don't bring
I
in.
could become a Skaven, okay? I just don't have
China.
to shower or shave for a week, and I'll become a Skaven. It's that easy.
So this
I will
is
spread my corruption.
it's very
You did
simple.
play Total
We
War,
watch a
didn't you?
show, and
I did.
sometimes we say what we're gonna
Did you
watch
like it?
next week. Sometimes you just left to figure out, apparently, because sometimes Poison goes on a 30-minute rant and then doesn't say anything. But hey, let's.
He
What?
went on a 30-second
There was
rant and
2
went to bed.
episodes in which you went on a
Okay.
30-minute rant and never said what show you were gonna do next.
Yeah, but this was your
No, I
rant.
changed it.
And then you got off. Yeah, and there was the one where you changed it twice. And I had to
Yeah,
check
that was a weird week.
twice
That was a
because they
weird
wrote in the
week.
wrong
Yeah.
thing twice. Because I was doing it as I was. Because we did do the other one later, and I was just like, did we do that early? Yeah, I guess we did.
Is it me
We're
this
all
week?
mixed up.
What?
You're next week, yes.
Yes, okay, I know which one
It's
I'm
your
doing.
next week, yeah. So, this week we did G-Gundam. First half of G-Gundam. Specifically the first half. Because
Came out in 1994.
we already had enough trouble doing the first one. Getting the first half even done. This time, not because of Poison entirely.
Entirely? What?
I would
Where
have
does that
preferred if
come
we were
from?
here earlier so I wasn't as tired.
Oh, you
Now,
should took a nap.
now,
Only bitches take naps.
since I know this question's going to come...
No offense to any of the female dogs listening.
Would anyone like to ask me what I was going to do, what you were going to ask me now, because it was my show that I recommended?
Oh, I mean, you could do the introduction of G-Gundam anytime.
No,
We're not-
What do
say
you do with
somebody
introduction?
ask. I'm trying to present it a lead-in.
Shadow, why'd you do G-Gundam?
No. And I'd
No,
say,
the fuck is on it?
fuck it. If you will allow me, I'll provide
Does it
for you a
consent?
brief explanation as to the purpose of the origin of this Gundam fight. It all began about 60 years ago.
You know what?
People
Where-
have
here's
left
a
an
question.
intolerable
Here's a
urge to
question.
live inside
Where
colonies out in space
is
to
this-
avoid war
One
amongst
second.
colony
One second.
nations.
Shut up. Stop. I
The
have a question.
competition
I have
is
a
held
question.
every 4 years. Of
Shadow, you get what you
representatives.
wanted. You just
What the
blasted through
fuck
it.
do you want?
I have a serious question.
What?
Where does this show take part in the overarching Gundam?
Fandom?
Gundam War doesn't exist in the war.
Oh, so it's not canon. Okay.
No, there's just multiple Gundam cannons. It's like Unicorn and shit and Moon Gundam and shit.
Yeah.
Remember
I
all
know,
that
there's shit
garbage?
that
That
came
all
on
that's
those
all
games.
legit, but it happened and didn't happen. There's like Char has like 2 fucking movies. Then one's canon and one's questionably canon. Canonicity doesn't fucking matter in shows.
But he's Char,
Especially
though.
ones that go
Does
long
it matter? He's like the only good villain in the history of Gundam.
Do you interrupt me for this? An argument about
Yeah.
canonicity?
I did, yeah.
I mean,
Continue.
why are you guys arguing about that?
This is gonna
Those
be
Gundams have a lot of
It's not an
canon.
argument, it's just
Just messing with him.
canonicity doesn't matter for especially when you go this fucking long as a show series.
I-
Just type in Gundam and it's like, oh, did you watch Gundam original or the other 50? I don't know.
I mean, have you seen a Gundam? They got like 10 cannons.
What are you no.
Oh, boys,
No.
that was so bad. That was so fucking bad.
You're not getting good jokes. I just
That
woke
was-
up. I mean, Shadow
That was
just woke
so
up.
bad by
Oh yeah,
your
Shadow
standards.
just woke up.
By even your standards, though, man. Like, come on, that's like
I don't have standards. What the fuck are you talking about?
You have levels of what you accept as a joke, and that just nowhere near it. That was
I'm gonna
embarrassing.
continue. As I was
Okay.
saying, it's
So what are you
tolerable
talking
Earth
about,
to live
Shadow?
out inside colonies out in space to avoid war amongst the colony
Okay,
nations.
don't answer me.
The competition is held every 4 years. A representative of each nation pilots a machine called a Gundam and takes part in a match. It's called the Gundam fight, and the pilots fight, and they fight, and they continue fighting until the nation represented
people are
by the
French.
last standing Gundam earns all right to rule over all colony nations.
Oh, c'est comment c'est?
These space governments have come up with a war
Oh,
based on the
baguette.
principles of great sportsmanship. But that's not our story for the first half. Our story primarily falls around Domon Kasu and the Dark Gundam, as he searches for his brother, who mysteriously disappeared.
Gundam, quotation marks.
Don't you mean Onisan?
Did you watch
He's
the
not a-
Japanese dub?
No.
Okay.
Beady eyes looking left and right.
You did, didn't you?
No, I actually didn't. I watched the dub on YouTube.
Mhm.
Outstanding.
Suspicious.
So, that's the whole of the plot for the first half. It's focusing
Yes.
about Domon Kasu finding out about his brother and the Dark Gundam under the pretense of the Gundam fight.
Yep. He's like, Big Bro did some shit. Fuck Big Bro. I'm gonna kill him with my shining finger.
Apologies to Stalker for me stealing
So-
his intro.
This man, okay, this is no disrespect. This should not be M-rated, but he does want to finger his brother.
I mean,
It's much like Dragon Ball GT, where Goku Dragon fists the main villain of the arc, and all of his family is cheering him on as he fists the enemy. It's very awkward when you put into the statement.
I mean, I've seen a very good photo of the Piccolo being stabbed in by Dub Dibidon's hat.
What?
You don't know who Dub Dibidon is? Mayor of Dub Dibidon's Dub Dibidon?
No. Okay.
Fairy Tale. Not Fairy Tale. Fairy Odd Parents. Those are two vastly
Okay.
different things.
So, G-Gundam.
One's a cartoon and one is softcore porn.
God, why would they show it to kids?
I don't know what
Continue, shut up.
No, how'd y'all think about G-Gundam?
What? Okay, we're just no episode synopsis. Just
Okay,
straight
you
to
No,
the
no,
ratings.
no. Like the beginning.
My overall,
So,
the
like,
beginning
how-
thing, I didn't think it was too bad. I mean, the revenge cliche, it's kind of old I mean, to start off with
I
it,
mean,
I wasn't a fan. I just wasn't a fan of that. They already started. Like they started off, and he's like, "I'm already going after this person," and it's just him showing everybody random pictures. They're like, "Do you know this guy? Do you know this guy?" Walks into a random cop town. Do you know this guy? It's like I thought that was just kind of a weird premise. But
I mean, it did come out in
94, yeah, it is old. It is ancient, so I'll give it that. But
fucking looks at Fairy Tale. It's like,
just don't talk about Fairy Tale. Stop that, Poison.
I'll recommend some Fairy Tale
Don't you do that.
movies.
Don't you do that. No.
G-Gundam Poison.
Only one thing from Fairy Tales worth recommending, and that is the manga where they did a crossover with Rave Master, because Rave Master.
Rave, like Rave.
Yeah, it's an old anime. Yeah, Rave Master. RAVE Master. Yeah, it's a good one too. I might actually recommend it one day. I'm gonna recommend it next. Actually, now that I think about it, but it's kind of like what's accepted today as a mainstream like shonen, but it was done like back in the 90s.
Gotcha. Shadow, you were talking before you tried to rudely
G-Gundam
interrupt
Poison.
us. What?
What do you think about the premise of the show?
The premise?
Starting premise.
First ever Gundam.
First impression.
If you don't count Gurren Lagann,
We
first
don't.
ever Gundam.
That's not Gundam.
It's not. No, they work completely different. I think Gurren Lagann's a lot better than any Gundam anime, but that's a completely different conversation.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from that. But it's like I went in with an open mind, and I don't know. The intro kind of got me into it.
It did. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That intro's super fucking old. Like, well, most things about this is super old. It was made a year before I was born. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, I mean, the intro wasn't bad. It was catchy. Like, the music was catchy.
They use all the thing about Gundam is they typically use a lot of the original OST, even in the English dub, which is a good touch. Consider I somewhat a good touch. Sometimes it doesn't really fit, but it's better than having the weird divide that you have with Dragon Ball, where the original music is great, but it's great because they stole so much of it from other music. And it's arguably, and like most of the stuff is downright pirated. But
You know what?
Hey,
At least it's not as bad. Oh, did you guys hear about Devil May Cry 5?
Nope.
microtransactions.
No, not even that. The Dante music. They released the Dante music for when you're playing as Dante, and it got so much shit talked about that they actually removed the video.
Oh, that sucks. What company makes Devil May Cry?
I don't remember the
Capcom.
company. Team Ninja. They work for a branch off of Capcom. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, they've
somehow-
done good with them. Just think, Sony's made all of them. I think they've done a good job. The only bad one was their remake. Was their reboot.
Capcom
of the series.
just recently shut down Vancouver. Capcom Vancouver.
Oh yeah,
Who made
EA
Dead
shut
Rising.
down their Telltale's games.
Yeah.
The Telltale
then
studio.
Telltale's shut down on its own.
Yep,
Yeah.
EA shut them down like in the middle of.
Well, Telltale's problem was people just watched it online.
No, not at all.
No.
Telltale's problem was that their games were shit after the first. They had 2 good games.
they
arguably 4.
They started rushing the games. The stories.
The only
weren't
one that
nearly as
was any
interesting.
good was Walking Dead Season 1.
Season 1, and then they ruined the end of it because
The only reason Season 2 was
nothing
even
mattered.
bought at all because people were interested. And now their studio is closing during the final season, so there's not going to be any quality in that. There's just not.
Well, it's not finished. They're
It's
not
being
finished
made
yet.
by
It didn't
25
finish.
people now. It's not going to have
It didn't
quality.
finish. It's done. It's over. They're not finishing. They announced they're not finishing the final season. So
It's,
for all you who bought like the season pass,
Get
sucks
fucked.
for you.
I
Yeah,
read an article that said
as I
the
say,
25 cast mode people who were still on were going to try to finish what was left because they were halfway through it and they were planning on trying to finish it with 25 members.
So
However,
maybe,
they're
maybe 2
fucking.
years.
It was the Netflix deal that fell through that put them under.
Mm,
It's because they were publishing 7 Days to Die and fuck, what was it? 7 Days to Die and another Stranded Deep. They're also publishing Standard Dream. So those games are
Well-
closing now too, I believe. I don't know.
Damn.
They could sell. They could just another company could pick up the rights.
I don't know. The Telltale Borderlands games were good.
It was fine.
Borderline one was fine. Yeah, that
It was fine, and so was the Batman one.
Yeah.
Anyways, all this is getting cut now, probably. Probably not.
No.
Yeah, probably should. This is
class-
no.
So, G-Gundam in the beginning. Classic.
editing
It
these
was
now?
really, really fucking...
That's a new shocker. You're editing these? You cutting the shit?
I edited the first ones. Later ones, when we got more on track, I didn't edit as much, but now this one is probably...
I mean, yeah.
18 minutes and nothing's been talked about, so...
18 minutes. We spent more time talking about Telltale games than actual G-Gundam.
Yeah.
So, take that as you may.
Okay,
Episode
well, let's
1,
continue.
intro. Gundam fights world. Starts out primarily with the world, with the police officer being your look into the world of how he hates him, and then, oh, these Gundam fighters, they come to our planet and they fight, and they ruin our world, and then they go back to their colonies.
These
Mr.
Gundam fighters
Redneck,
coming
man.
over here, stealing
he
our
wasn't a
guns.
redneck.
He's
was
a
just a
combination of a redneck and grumpy old man on his yarn. Damn kid, get off my yard! Kids are walking on the fucking
It was
sidewalk and
actually
shit.
just like a slightly younger Wolf's Rain cop. Who
I
that
don't
was.
want to talk about that guy though. That means I don't have a war. No, don't bring that up. Don't you do that to
Well, that's
me?
the same character type. It's the exact same
Yeah,
character.
grumpy old man on the yard.
But Wolf's Rain Cop had a lot more personality.
It was a one-episode character
Eventually.
competing against a 15.
Yeah.
Eventually, it took the man like 12 episodes to get real character.
That guy from Gurren Lagann was only there for like
Episode
4
1.
episodes.
Which
Okay.
guy? What are you talking about? Kamiya?
Yeah, the main guy. Like the
Yeah,
guy
but
who's like, my
he
troll's
was
gonna pierce the heaven.
He was over brimming with confidence and personality though. Like he stood out from the group. Okay.
Yeah.
And he was around for like 6 or 8 episodes, I think.
And then they offed him off.
Yeah, and then the show kind of drops a few levels. But anyway, sorry, continue, Shadow.
God, I'm gonna recommend fucking Gurren Lagann.
Did you Shadow? He's like, the amount of fucking work you guys are giving me, fucking
Oh.
dicks.
There better be some comedy in this, Shadow. We're giving you a lot of material here.
No, you're not.
Continue now. We're giving him a lot of work. We're giving him a lot of shit to just cut out.
Has he said the synopsis yet?
Yeah, he did
That was the
synopsis.
fucking intro that you kept fucking
He
interrupting.
interrupted him 3 times, but he did do it, yes.
Just like a man in prison, he forced it. Dude.
Anyways, Gundam fight. Intro. He fights off against fucking, what was it? Neo Italy? Whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
Neo
Italy.
something.
Yep.
See, Neo something.
Neo,
Uh,
it was Italy. It was Italy.
And it was a
Neo
thug.
Japan. Oh, from
It
Neo
was a-
Japan.
No,
Yeah, he's from
Domon
Japan.
is Neo
He's
Japan.
from Japan.
Yeah,
he was
Italy.
facing
Yep,
against
Italy.
Yeah, guy he fought was it.
Michel Chariot.
He did not know. I
He
mean,
didn't really say his name. He was more.
Michel Chariot.
He was a shining legs
We
kind
didn't-
of person.
we didn't care about. We just don't remember the name
And he
because
kidnapped.
he was just some bandit.
He was
and
the
he's like,
bandit of the
"I'm
week. Yes,
kidnapped
he was
this
the villain of the
random
week.
girl who you just met 3 seconds ago and use her as a hostage.
It works.
Yeah.
Did it?
It
Domon was
did,
gonna win
yes.
regardless, so
Mhm.
it's like,
Well, I mean, come on.
Some
man.
of the
This
Gundam
is-
fighters just try to
he
win
had-
by any
He
means,
had a
though,
chance
so.
because this man does have Goku syndrome, hardcore, like super hardcore Goku syndrome. Okay.
Well, that's only
We
because of the
can't-
picture. In the
No,
beginning.
no, I'm talking
No,
about
in the
just-
beginning, he doesn't kill people until he shows them the picture and they respond.
Yeah, but I'm
Because he
just
wants
saying,
to know
like,
whether or not they've seen his brother. And because he keeps running into
Even-
bad people in the
even-
beginning.
even
for the most
after
part.
that though, but we'll get into that later.
Okay. Foreshadowing.
The announcer shows up, whose actual name is Stalker, who's probably one of my favorite parts of the show.
Is that his name?
That's his name. He is
fucking
classified
name
as
is
Stalker.
Oh,
'cause
that
he
is
stalks the
awesome.
cast. Yeah.
I know.
That's
I know.
awesome.
I like that character so much more now. He just got 10 times better. He was kind of just an annoying guy. I'd skip over half the time. I
Same.
go back and rewatch all his intros now because his name's fucking
He
Stalker.
actually does different intros at the end.
Yeah, no, he does
His
different. I
introductions
know
to
he
the
does.
episodes are all different.
Yeah, no, it's all based around the show, but it's kind of like a big sport. He kind of tells you what happens in the show. That's why I skip him.
What?
No, but
when
the
did
last
they
seconds
stop
of his
doing
introduction
that?
are different. What? Why
When did they stop doing like
maybe in the second season.
No,
Or he does it the
no. He
whole-
stops
I'm talking about,
doing
like-
in this. He stops doing it specifically because this was a TV show that ran on TV. So people tuning in and missed out on the first episode, the people who saw the first episode and said, "Oh, this show's kind of cool. You might want to check it out." They get to come in and they don't feel like they missed anything. That's how the shows were
I'm
designed.
talking about
back
like
then.
just general like shows, like the Hunter
That's
X
how shows were designed back then.
Yeah,
So
Hunter X
some
Hunter
of the
did it.
first episodes are really heavy on this is what happened, this is how the story is, and they do that a lot in the beginning. Thankfully, this show makes it relatively quick with like less than a minute of intro.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it doesn't
Other
have One
shows
Piece
tend to
intro.
go longer, Naruto. Anyways,
One Piece. One Piece
Yeah.
is the works. Okay, One Piece has 2 intros and then a 5-minute follow up on what previously happened.
and you don't get an interesting song, and you just end up singing "Gotta go, dream it, don't give it up, Luffy," as you're pissing in the bathroom.
Don't give it up, Solo. Yeah.
Dream it, don't give it up, give it up. Hey, you call that song not interesting, but we all say it.
Terrible.
No,
The reason
it's
I know
a
it is because I've heard it
catchy.
50 times.
It's just a catchy fucking song. It is catchy.
It's not good.
No,
I wouldn't listen to it for fun.
It's one of the songs that gets stuck in your head. It's catchy as fuck. It gets stuck in your head, but doesn't mean it's an actual good song. That's a completely different argument.
Anyways, I love Announcer and how he breaks through the fourth wall. Or not the fourth wall, he breaks through some walls. For instance, he speaks with Domon on a few occasions and is sometimes sitting in the scene with the main characters.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
Stalker is probably one of my favorite parts about this. It's a lot of why I liked the guy from Banner Jin, the delivery
Okay.
character, because he kind of fills
Yep.
a similar role, in a sense, of where he's the mysterious person who just exists to exist as a means of story.
Yeah.
The
Yes, I
mysterious
like
man.
those
He's
characters.
meant there.
I
He's
always
meant there to
appreciate them.
push things along because there's only so many things Jin
Granted,
can
he doesn't
randomly
push things
learn.
along,
like,
but he helps the
every
audience.
other. I love whenever Dollman looked at me. He's like, "Have you ever seen this man? What does that have
to do with our
this
episode?"
Every fucking time. It's like, what? They just cut him off. It's like, oh yes, put him in his fucking place. Good job, sir. Good
Is that-
fucking job. He does that all the time. Yeah, like
No,
every
no,
other
I didn't
episode.
say that. No, I was saying more like that sounds like something like Boba would
No,
do.
Bo would just shit on the screen, and it's
They-
much more blunt.
They would, yeah. They don't. Bobo, they wouldn't have an overseer like that because he would get beat up by Bobo in like the first episode.
And he would make
Oh,
a
we just
joke
beat him
about
up.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, why do you need to tell people what's
episode
going
2
to
is
happen
Neo
when
America.
I can?
Episode 2 is Neo America, and you get Shibbity,
Neo
which I originally
America,
believed was
Jiminy.
Jiminy.
You know
And
what?
then Saul actually paused on the letter and realized it's spelled Chib-O-D.
This
was like,
boy, this
"Ugh."
show got an extra 3 points for me.
Yeah.
because America's
Yeah.
not the bad guy.
Yeah.
Everything else from Japan, America's always the evil bad guy. Do I understand? Two Atom Bombs would give you that persona. But
Honestly,
they,
I don't really see too many shows where America's the bad guy. I know a couple of games where they are.
America's
Baki and the Grappler.
every show, either the America's the bad guy or America's the stuck-up dick piece of shit who gets knocked out by the Japanese guy.
I mean, he.
Like every
I
time.
mean, he kind of.
In an extreme case,
Yeah.
Baki the Grappler.
It's true, but at the same time, he's not a bad character.
Yeah.
He's not a dick. He's a good
No,
guy.
he's a
Is
good
he
guy.
cocky? But he's a good guy. They're never shown in
Mm-hmm.
Japanese anime to be good guys. They're always dicks, arrogant assholes who show up for an episode just to get knocked out to kind of give you a temporary quick villain, like a very half-assed villain.
My turn. Yeah, and Baki Grappler.
Oh my god,
He-
no one cares.
I do.
I got so much editing to fucking do in this episode. God damn it.
Yeah, but Baki the Grappler, Americans literally are the antagonists, and they are defeated by a guy who stood on an island and threw people very hard.
I mean, if you really want to talk about movies where there's villainizing America,
That
you
wasn't,
could always just look at the ones where they're literally
movie that
doing
was an
one-to-one
actual-
recreations of the nuclear bombings.
It's an anime
There's
and
like
a
many.
full 1,000-chapter manga.
Baki Grappler?
What I'm saying, Baki the Grappler is like an anime and a 1,000-chapter manga.
Yep. Highly recommend it. The new series, I like it.
The new series you can't watch until you watch the old one because you lose
No.
the story.
You can jump into JoJo Part 3.
You'll lose a lot of the history though.
Yeah, but you didn't jump into Star Wars that way. You jumped into Star Wars and you're like, oh, this is a good universe. Let's jump into this.
No, you jump into Star Wars in Part 3 Part 4 because that was the intent of Star Wars when it originally came out.
That was
to be
the
a
actual
one-off.
part.
And then it got really popular, and he's like, well, guess we'll make more. And then he made 5 and 6, because what he was trying to emulate when he made Part 4 was he was trying to do, like, when you're flipping channels, and you see a middle of a show, and you're like, oh, what's this? And you just get the story from the midpoint. That's what he was trying to go for.
Yeah, there
was never intended to be anything else past 4 or 5, I think. And then it just kind of blew up into the massive universe. Which is thank God for KOTOR, but then after that, everything else is shit. So talk about the current movies, though. Those are miserable.
I don't know. I mean, they had some decent games, and till they handed it over
Battlefront and KOTOR.
Until they handed it over to a company
Bounty
that
Hunter
was
was
the first Battlefront. Battlefront was shit. The first Battlefront was complete shit. 2 was good. 1 was crap. 1 was literally the game made for a movie. That was literally what it was. It was like 2 maps, and you sat there and you just really killed droids. You didn't do anything. There was nothing to the game. Look up gameplay for the first one. It is actually shit. 2? No, 2 is a good game. But 1 was complete crap. I'm shocked they actually made a serious second one. With how bad the first one was. I was actually dumbfounded. But anyways, America, man. I thought it was funny that America is the boxer.
Yeah.
Because that is not an American sport.
I mean, it's popular in America.
I would prefer it to be baseball. I'd be preferred than baseball.
I would have preferred
His weapons is a giant fucking...
Like a bat or a ball? Yeah, no. Yeah.
It would be baseball or basketball.
Baseball,
and then you would have some border
like
countries with...
Yeah.
No.
Just take it off like Fallout 4 where they just forgot what baseball was. So they're just like...
And they thought it was people who just run around beating people? No.
Yep.
Yeah, but Chibity. Boys, and how'd you like Chibity once you figured out he was the boxer?
I loved him. I loved his character. He was a great character.
I liked his fight with... I liked his initial fight with Doma when they got into the ring and Domon snuck in.
Yeah.
And it like showed the difference between Gundam fighters and regular fighters of like, no, they're entirely different leagues.
Yeah.
Like by miles. For one, they're magic to a degree, but...
Magic.
Well, they've gone through some... I'm assuming
they went through some shit.
Manipulation. Some G manipulation.
I mean, you can see Master Asia who's literally taking down mobile arms with his fucking rope, his bandage, his shit. So.
Yeah, and shit. Like there's been some genetic manipulation going on there.
Well, I don't think it's genetic. I think it's just like kind of Dragon Ball. Like they have chi, chakra. It's meant... What it actually is meant to is be martial arts filmy. Where, like, the martial arts master can, like, stop the dojo from falling and stuff. Which is one
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
That's the intent,
Doesn't
I'm assuming.
make it good.
It's especially heavily implied with Master Asia and shit.
Master Asia.
Which is just incredibly, like, this is a martial
East. I am the East. God, does he say that more than I remember him saying that?
Oh, no.
Holy shit. Holy crap.
And he's really cool, too, and heroic when he's on the good side. And when he's on the bad side, it's just like, you're an asshole. Stop saying that.
Also, by the way, tie-in back to the anime we did a few weeks ago. I forget what it's called. No, that was like a few weeks ago.
What's GT?
Harem, high school.
Oh my God.
High school romance.
Yeah, typical high. Thank you.
Yep, there we go.
The one that I'm editing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it is a reference to this.
Yeah, there was a reference in that.
How the clock turns.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's one of the reasons it was on.
The show had a lot of references. That's one of the
This is a very old show, and many things reference it.
That's one thing Shadow didn't like about that show, was the amount of reference humor, because it's like either you get it or you don't, and now you get another joke.
And again, when you reference an old show like G-Gundam, which most people haven't watched even nowadays, or forgotten about it entirely because they watched it when they were kids. Yep. That joke's not gonna hit.
Well, most people who are watching that show aren't like old enough to have watched G-Gundam.
Oh no.
Like, that show's not intended for people in their 20s.
Honestly, I shouldn't have even watched it because it's not in my time frame. This was a year before I was born, even that this was released. God. So that's a bit... Yeah, I know, it's fucking old. It's older
God,
than me.
making me feel fucking old.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. Anyway,
Wait, so this was a
Jiminy's
year
cool. I like
before.
his fight. I like how he goes like a quick round with Domon, but then their fight gets interrupted, and they both get a blow on each other. How Chibity's like incredibly strong, but Domon's just way
Don't
faster.
say it that way after he said he wants the fingers, brother.
No, they get a blow on each other real quick.
Don't
They
say
get one
that.
blow on each other.
They get a look. They get a blow on each other's face. Okay.
No, Domon blows the other's face. The other one blows his ribs.
There
Yeah,
you
he got it
go.
right in his
Lower
gut,
abdomen.
man. Yeah, right in his
I
gut.
believe. I like all that fight. Him and Domon is a pretty cool one.
Again, this is a rated teen fight, Poison. Okay, get your mind out the gutter.
Hey, you're the one who fucking
Chibity,
brought up the finger
I
and
kind of had a
shit.
feeling you would like him because he's
Okay,
an American. He's
Merc.
Chibity.
Jiminy
Jiminy
Merc.
Crockett.
You know what, man?
And he's a boxer.
You know what?
Yeah,
He's from
I loved
America.
it.
And he
Most
and he
Americans
gets
are
his ass
Christian.
handed to him in 1
Okay.
second.
No, fuck you.
Shining finger
Didn't
right
have
through
it.
that arm, motherfucker.
Shining Finger's a weird thing too. Shining Finger's just the most weird high five ever in that situation. He's like, high five, Shining Finger, boom, breaks his arm. Like, well, that is a fucked up high five, sir.
Shows you how backstabby.
I like how Shining Finger works, though, how it's basically just the energy sword, but a bit stronger in his hand. So it's
I don't
like
know
a
why he
handheld
called it
version
The
of a
only
sword.
thing I
It's an
didn't
old
like
version.
about
I
him,
thought it was such a weird thing.
the only thing I didn't like about him was his Gundam.
His Gundam Baxter is a bit weird. Because it looks like a football player at first.
Yeah, and then
You realize it's just like, it's probably meant to be like, hey, look, football and Americans, but in reality it would probably be baseball or, basketball. I think,
Well,
football is pretty good too, but
football is the sport.
baseball is our sport, though. That's the
Like, we
sport that
created
Americans
baseball,
coined.
and we created football and baseball. Actually,
Yeah.
we created both of those sports.
So I
That
guess
no
both
Double
of
Day
them work.
was in
And I
America.
guess that the football one
American
looks a
style.
bit better when you turn it into a boxer. So, hey,
Yeah,
I liked him. He was cool. He
I
was
love
I
cool.
thought it was cool.
We brought up the problem with this
I
episode
thought-
begins with the fucking
mean-
Domon hiding his Gundam inside of
Yeah.
national. He hides it inside the Lady Liberty. I'm not exactly a big fan of the Lady Liberty, but I understand it has some meaning to people. And when you're sitting in a ruined New York, and you're like, oh wow, at least rubble's not on fire, at least we still have remnants of the Statue of Liberty. Now the remnants of the statue are now blown up because Domon hid his Gundam in there. I don't know.
Man also hides it in Niagara Falls too. Like,
He hides in Niagara Falls, but it doesn't
hides
blow
it
up
so
Niagara Falls.
He hides that shit in a weird.
Or you
place.
give him a fucking month.
It wouldn't take a month for a Gundam to blow up Niagara Falls. It would take like a minute. And these are really tiny Gundams. That's something that's
Hey, it's
pointed
not
out
about
is
the
like
size
these
of a
Gundams.
Gundam, it's how
Gundams
to
are
use
much
it.
like in other series. Gundams are much, much larger than these Gundams. They are much larger.
Oh yeah.
Are you Gundam
I-
shaming?
No, like,
we
these are a
played-
third of the
we
size of
played,
normal Gundams.
What are they called? What is it called? What was that game called? Gundam Warriors.
Gundam Warriors,
We played
yeah.
Gundam Warriors. Yes, we got to see the size. We got to literally have a G Gundam stand next to one of the Gundams.
It's like up to its knees. It's really
and it's
tiny.
like, why?
It's just
You know?
incredible. And that was Shining Gundam too, which is larger than Burning Gundam.
You know,
I mean, that was Burning Gundam, which is larger than Shining
larger than
Gundam.
Shining Gundam.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's hysterical. Like, seems like cold and bigger. You see the other Gundam.
And it's just as powerful.
Oh, it's like
So it's
that
like,
is fucking weird. That is just so weird.
well, because it's not meant to go to war like the other Gundams were. This one's meant to fight honorably in
no, it's meant for
one-on-ones.
one-on-one combat.
Yeah.
no.
So you don't need to be
No.
that big.
For
There's no
one-on-one
point.
fight. Not massive wars.
Which
they
is
want
where you
to
have
go
like
tank
Gundam Wing and
cannons.
shit and Gundam 00, where they have these massive fucking universe clearing abilities.
I think Wing was the last good Gundam show. Definitely the last good Gundam. movie.
I mean, there's probably a
mean,
bunch
Wolf-
that we haven't watched because I know, God knows, I haven't
really.
kept up with any of the Gundams because there's far too
No,
fucking many.
they're too long.
Yeah, and there's too many of them.
They're all the same. They're all the new types, and every new type is the same fucking character when it comes to the Gundam shows. It's like they're all the same character.
We need
are
one
you talking
massive
about?
Gundam abridged. No, not Gundam
So
abridged,
bad.
Gundam Kai.
Okay.
Dude, you do a Gundam Kai, that shit would still be shorter than the base Naruto Shippuden.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
He gets So Chibity gets smoked in 3 seconds. Not a
Yeah.
big surprise.
Nah. Yeah.
Then we have the
Basically,
Dragon
the
Gundam
big
fight.
thing was the big thing about this was more about just showing more the political aspect
Yeah.
it introduced about how the government officials were trying to make him win under any condition necessary, and they're like, why does he need to fight him?
And how
He
the good
doesn't.
fighters don't give a shit, and they're just like, nah, I just want to fucking fight. Get the fuck away.
Yeah, and he's like one of the good guys. He just wants to fight fairly, one on one, and they're like, we'll just win by any means necessary. And that's why they
Which
said
is
all.
legitimate,
they set
and
up
it's
that
like
whole
it's not
thing, and it makes
it's not
sense.
like allowed by the tournament, and if you get caught, you're gonna get expelled. But you're doing it anyway.
Well,
I mean, Russia gets the ability to cheat, and they just can't be confirmed that they did it, so they just get away with it. Neo-Russia does.
We'll talk about that later, though, because that's a later.
Just call it Russia. I don't want to
No,
say
it's
Neo-Russia
Neo-Russia.
before everyone. I know it's Neo-Russia.
Neo. I'm just
don't
gonna throw
want-
it because it's different. Because Russia is the Earth government that exists. Neo-Russia is the space
There's
government.
two different governments. Yeah,
I know. But this...
they all left, so they're not the same. They're actually not the same.
So
They
it's
actually
basically
are.
like we're friends with the one down there, but we don't really like them. We're better. Is
It's
how
literally
Neo is.
introduced in the first episode.
I know, but
How the space government.
Anybody want to
like
say anything about
it.
Chibity in episode 2 while we're moving on to 3?
Chibity. I liked him.
Anything.
I mean, I have
Baxter.
nothing.
I felt pride in a Murph.
I like how he gets a rocket punch. That's what I'll say. Hey, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
He's not one of
Yes,
the ones that gets into the games usually because his design is kind of shitty. But speaking of that, a Gundam that does get into all the games pretty much, Dragon Gundam, which is one of the better designed Gundams with one of the worst characters. I find the worst in the group.
Character.
I liked him when I was a kid, but now he's kind of annoying.
Well, he's very annoying.
I like him interacting with Neo-Russia, but I don't like him.
No, and that was only for one episode.
That was
They
for
had
one
that
episode
direction.
too, yes.
That was only one episode. Okay.
First off, Neo Asia? China? Is it China? China, right?
China.
Yeah, he's
China,
getting
yes.
he's
China.
Shinshe. Oh, fuck, it was a week. Shinsheshi. Fuck.
Shinshi.
Something
something like that.
something. Shai Sin.
Look,
fuck,
people, you know what?
something.
It's a Chinese name. We're not gonna try.
Well, actually,
Okay.
isn't it like a? It's a Shaolin name, anyways. But
No,
like,
it's not a Chinese name. It's a Neo-Chinese.
No, it's a
Shit.
Chinese name.
You're right, boys, and you got me. It's a I apologize. You're right.
So
Shit.
he's basically trying to. His whole thing is like explained by other people. Was he was sent up to go train in the new temple so he could bring honor to the old
The
temple,
original
Shaolin temple, because the
Basically,
Shaolin art is dying.
Temple got abandoned for this other Shinobu art, and basically they sent the predecessor, the child of their leader, to go train Shinobu type temple to become the chosen Gundam fighter. And then when he wins, he's like, for the Shaolin Temple. It's kind of their plan.
Which is probably one of the worst plans out of everybody, because he has the least to win.
Definitely the worst plan, because they just
The Shaolin
randomly...
Temple consists of 2 people. So
Yeah, also-
saving the temple
also
doesn't mean
their-
a whole lot.
Also, their plan was just randomly shoot him to Earth. Knowing
Well,
they
no,
shot
that was the
him-
government. Apparently something went wrong with the launch, is what they said.
Yeah, and they shot
and they
him
sent
and
it 2 different
Gundam in
directions. Then
different
bandits
places.
found the
Took the Gundam.
and were just able to use it.
And somehow they're able to use it, yeah.
Even though they didn't have the key. Maybe it launched with the key, but that seems incredibly stupid. And why wouldn't you launch the key with the pilot, not the...
They put the key in the ignition, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, would you leave your car out there running and the door open? Like, no, you wouldn't.
I
Why
mean, I
would
might
they?
be in my car right now.
And then, like, I don't like the Dragon Gundam, but I love how he fights. He is probably one of the cooler fighting styles, and he deserves to get into most of the games.
Yeah, no, he's definitely more visually a pleasing fighting.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Pleasing.
Yeah,
Well, he has the
looks
flag
good.
technique. He has the
Don't you mean
flame
the
burst
peasing?
technique. He's
Is there really a
primarily a
difference?
weapon.
I bet there's a difference with semantics.
Yeah, but neither of us care enough.
Yeah. Oh, I like him just like when we're talking about design. I don't know. I've seen I just looked him up to remember his design and detail.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this really cool flag. Did he ever use the flag?
He uses the flag, yes.
All the time.
Yeah,
That's
all
literally
the
the only
time.
way he fights,
Mhm.
for the most
That's
part.
like his main thing is the flag, yeah.
Yeah, he uses energy flags.
Yep,
Mhm.
that was cool.
No, he is a
He can
really cool
create
fighting style.
hollows,
He's
images.
not,
He
when
can do
he's not
flame
in his
bursts. He
mech,
can
he
reflect
sucks.
attacks with it.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah,
fucking
like he
cool.
does a
Yeah.
lot of cool stuff with the like he does a lot of cool stuff. Just as a character, he's just a really
Bad character. He's
crappy
generic
character.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Yeah.
just generic eccentric kid. That's
Yeah.
what he is.
Yeah.
He's just, he's super. Even before this show came out, he's something that was done 100 times, which is impressive.
I mean, was he? I don't know many animes that can.
There was a ton. Anyways,
Oh, a shit ton.
they fight.
Ones that came out around the same time, we can just throw one out. Inuyasha,
Yeah.
Inuyasha. Oh yeah.
it's around the same
And
time.
Inuyasha had more interesting characters too, like the pervert monk that I was always trying to get women to have his child.
Oh yeah, get together with the child, he tried to get together. It's like, it was funny because he always tried to get together with everyone but one chick, and it's like, I liked at the end she got mad about it too. She's like, why does he ever hit on me?
He's even hitting on elderly women, I believe, at certain points.
No, he's hitting on like the old ladies. It's like she's getting mad. It's like he hits on everyone but
There's
me.
beauty in all forms.
Yeah, he always gets the old ladies too. They're always all over him. Wonder why the 20-year-old guy.
Oh, then we have the French man,
Oui,
Rose Gundam.
Nobility.
Or-
I love that.
Oh.
introduction.
As I spoke with
French.
Rudded briefly earlier, is a very similar character to one Yu Yu Hakusho. Long, red-headed fencer that uses a whip
No.
and roses.
Well, he doesn't use.
He
a
doesn't
whip.
use a whip.
He uses a rapier.
But he uses roses. And his
Good
long redheaded has
pronunciation on
the
that,
same
right?
attitude.
What's up?
Good pronunciation on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Not saying it rapier like everyone else.
No, it should be
All of you
rapier 'cause it's a
peasants.
shit weapon.
Fuck
It's
you.
garbage tier and as always was.
It is a bad weapon.
It's literally like the worst design you could possibly have.
It's like basically you take a sword and you take away 80%
A
of its
thin,
functionality.
flexible sword that can snap easily. Oh wow!
Yeah.
Katanas worked so well.
No.
Let's make it thinner.
That is, but his is not though. His is made of some really
No,
thick
but
metal.
the French could have made a better sword, but they decided, oh, let's make the shittiest sword. I don't even know if it's French. I never cared. I never looked into it. I never studied it because it was always performed miserably and everything. So I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, it's mostly a dueling weapon. That's why it's.
You
Well,
can
no, that's
you
why
can use
it's
a dull
literally-
long sword and it'd be better as a dueling
no,
weapon.
Yeah, it wasn't ever a warfare
It was never
weapon.
meant for warfare. It's meant as like a practical.
Tell
thing.
that to
That's why
every
it's literally-
vampire in every show ever.
It's literally an Olympic sport, fencing.
It's fucking awful.
Shadow, we're talking about a giant mech using a flag. You think?
Yeah, but the flag is energy flag that can rebound and can create hollows.
Okay, what about my rapier that fucking splits off into 8 and homes on you? Now is it a
That's
good
Soul
weapon?
Calibur. Yeah, it's a much better That's not. She doesn't use a rapier though. She
Oh, yeah,
uses
Raphael
a
was
fucking
the-
longsword.
Yeah, I know, and I'm hyped.
Yep.
Raphael is my second character
I'm just
Astro.
worried what they're gonna do with Astroth though, because he's a
Yeah,
graphic.
he
Raphael's
was
still a,
Well, no.
Raphael's still a
The
vampire.
weird thing is like a lot of things in 6, a lot of new mechanics counter grabs though, like
Yeah, I'm
reverse
fine.
edge. So it's like it takes away half his kit.
Yeah, are you sad that they're nerfing Astroth?
No.
No, they're gonna change
All the
Astroth.
heavies probably needed to be nerfed anyways.
They're changing him.
Like
Like, there's
Nightmare
no
was
way they're gonna
performing
release.
strongly.
They're not releasing him. They're not gonna release him like he originally was.
They're already
No way.
fucking. They already
because you could
aired
reverse
the
edge
game in
80%
Evo
of
though,
his
so
stuff.
what fucking matters? Like the fucking beta's coming out next week. Let's just shut up and wait till then.
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah,
Touche.
there's
Okay,
like
maybe-
the beta's literally next week, so let's
Maybe
just.
they'll put Tyra in the beta. Like,
Eh.
hey, you want to buy her? Try her out now.
Oh, by the way, I like the main villain's redesign. If we're on this tangent.
Oh, Agul.
Yeah.
No, Agul. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I kinda like
I like his, like, he's
Keeping
kind of a
himself
Gilgamesh
entirely
character.
in the
He's like
dark.
a crazy
Wah, wah,
monk
wah,
now.
wah,
I
wah.
like it. I mean, his fighting style doesn't look bad. I want to see a little bit more of it than just the one fight they
It's
show.
flashy though. Shadow's gonna like
It is. It is definitely visually.
No,
appealing.
I like
will
this
give
old
it-
one. So we'll see.
You know, no, you like sitting on the throne, okay?
I like sitting on the
No,
throne.
I like
thank you very
shooting.
much.
I like shooting in lockdown. I like TP.
I
lockdown
like
characters.
killing people by sitting on there. How dare you think it's Shadow?
So Domon takes the Frenchman's win in like 1 second, shows up, steals that French's win.
Well, hey, you know what? Hey, he challenged him at the
I can
same.
say that because I'm half French.
He chose
Stole that dirty
he chose
Frenchman's
not
win.
to get involved.
I can say
Then he
that.
fake kidnaps Neo France's princess, which is a shockingly strong crime, but gets away with.
Well, I mean, technically, she ran away from home and asked him to kidnap her, and she was about to get beat
Well,
up by
the
a
reason it
bunch
wasn't
of
like it
thugs.
didn't get serious attention is because he knew that Domon wouldn't know perfect French. Because she was a dumbass and wrote it in perfect French, apparently. And it's like, and Domon's even sitting there after he says this, like, what a fucking idiot. Like, just, why would she think that would work? Oh, yeah, perfect French, that works. Oh, yeah. Even though you're speaking English. And everyone is speaking English, that's a thing. So it's just like, fuck it, whatever. So, what's this? Oh, yeah, they destroyed another monument in this. They destroyed the Eiffel Tower in this one.
Destroyed the Eiffel Tower, right?
Yeah.
Wait, I thought this was Neo. Why did they just recreate all the fucking...
No,
no,
they
okay.
fight on Earth.
Look, all the space nations that left come to Earth to fight every
show.
4 years.
I did!
Every 4 years, they send their Gundams to Earth to fight. And the last Gundam...
I just didn't focus too hard. It was kind of like, just watch it while I paint.
Well, maybe don't do that. Maybe we don't want a GT where you have nothing to add.
You mean where he goes?
I added some stuff. I went to bed before I went to bed.
No. Poison, you literally said don't talk to me.
You're lucky
I
me
said,
and Reddit talk about Dragon Ball literally all the fucking time.
Yeah, no,
Literally all the
it
fucking
was
time.
literally a point at the beginning, right, where I literally about this fight. 'Cause you said you remember all the fights. You're like, just don't talk to me.
I didn't say it like that. How dare you?
Shadow can pull up the tape. You did.
I'm
You
not
said it.
pulling
You
up the
said,
fucking
like-
tape.
You got
Pull up the
super
tape.
fucking mad. You got super mad when I asked you. He will have to upload that eventually. When he does,
It
I will
is.
pull it out
Hey,
as confirmation.
the last thing we reckon, the thing I'm going to edit tomorrow is going to be typical high school romance, and that's when we recommend GT, First Arc.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
That's
But
how
like-
close we are to this. So, that's if you're wondering why I'm not uploading when we mysteriously miss a week, that's why. Because we're shockingly close. And if I did that, we would already be on current.
Someone forgot to watch this season.
Yeah, this time.
Yeah.
Reddit took that L. He took that L.
Yeah, I always take the L.
It's just how many L's do we hold by the end of the arc? That determines how strong we are.
I'm
I
going to
am
be the
the
most
strongest.
powerful. I'm catching up to you in power, Poison. My
Yeah.
Gundam is getting stronger.
I mean, does not watching half a season count, Reddit? Really?
Yes. Yes, it does. It grows my L by
We
half
have
a word length.
Neo Francis fight. Neo French's fight. Fuck, how'd that end?
So doesn't know what I'm talking about.
How the
It
fuck did
ended
that
with the break.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he
And then
Domon
holds
wins,
it
but
up,
he protects.
And they're like,
yeah.
no, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
a
yeah,
draw.
Yeah.
Should we just declare this a draw?
It was a draw because he he
True.
protects her.
Funny
and then,
thing too, I'm not sure if you guys
Shadow,
know,
didn't you watch
every
the
draw-
series?
Every person who was a draw became an ally.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Very
old.
specifically.
Literally very specific. Everyone who entered as a draw joined
Well, it's kind of building the main cast of the Shuffle Alliance, but that's something you know. It's obvious when you're watching
It's
it again,
called
but
the
if you're watching it for the
Shuffle
first
Alliance?
time,
20 episodes early, yes.
yeah, if you're watching it for the first time, this is like the 7th time
God.
I've watched this show. So
I
for me,
was
it's
just
like,
calling
yep,
it just
that's
like
them.
God,
insert
Poison.
old group.
How much did you actually
I watched
watch?
this 3 weeks ago, Reddit. I watched it,
2 weeks.
literally crammed it the day before. That's why I have a fucking thing open
You
right now.
gotta stop cramming.
I'm sorry. that's
Or
why I
just
like to
not
watch
cram
my
while
anime.
you're doing something and cram and actually watch it if you're gonna at least cram.
No, I only did that the first like 5 episodes.
Sure,
I did.
sure. I
But
believe
you
you
don't
so
know
much
Shuffle
because your track
Alliance
record is
is-
so consistent.
Oh, fuck you.
Get a better track record. Get a credit
Yeah.
rating, and maybe I'll give you more credit.
God,
Neo rushed the fight, which is amazing.
get a credit rating.
What the sick accounting jokes isn't?
That was a sick.
Because
Okay.
I don't know if you planned that to be topical. That
Oh,
was
really?
topical.
That was topical.
Yeah, I had to pay an extra $500 to move into my apartment
Oh man, that's great.
because I had to pay a bigger deposit
because your credit rating is a bit iffier. Yeah.
Your credit rating shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you should have expected that.
Yeah. There's not much you can do about that. At least when you pay it, it'll get better. So,
No.
yeah,
no,
well, over time.
Rent doesn't go. No, rent doesn't go on your credit report. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I need to do something else.
What you need to do what I told you. Go buy a credit card, pay a phone bill with it, and make the minimum payment on it.
And while you're on it, get your taxes, get an 880, so you can get half your money back, and you put into a saving account. The government will put half of that money into the saving account.
You say you want to cut shit, and you start the accounting stuff.
I'm adding into the bullshit that you all are doing.
You're getting way too much into this advice thing. You need simple advice.
Oh yeah, tax forms are too into it.
That is very actually.
We're talking about credit rating techniques.
Why do you think H&R Block lobbies the government so they don't do the more efficient tax management? Okay, to where they literally do the taxes because they have all our tax information, and then send us a confirmation letter. Then we sign the letter, and they send us a fucking check, which is done throughout most of the world and works 10,000 fucking times better than the shit we have. Where every year somebody's fucking making $20 million by sending in 50 to 5,000 returns and then stays home and then gets arrested.
God, this got passion real fast.
Taxes are a questionable thing.
Taxes are a very.
And then we have people like Kanye who just don't pay their taxes. Was it Kanye? It was probably Kanye.
You mean 90%.
90% of people with money that shouldn't have money, yes.
Yeah, 90% of people with money.
Some of them turn out to be genuinely good people, but most of them don't know how to handle it. Yeah. Like football players that go bankrupt, and you're like, how? 16 cars? That's obvious.
That's literally because it's all their money, and they say that's why. They literally hand someone else all their money, and they say take care of it. Ugh. That person has complete control over how it's invested.
So, off the financial talk, New Russia. Probably the best space group fight, I'm going to say, and probably one of the better episodes. I love Argyle, I think his name is.
Is it this episode or the next episode where just she's like, release the Gundam, basically. And just fucking pops out of the place.
Oh, where it just explodes out of the prison?
Yeah.
And this is
this episode.
This is when he gets
because that was the one where Domon was escaping the prison.
Yep.
Okay. And then you had that weird guy they call like the bird, and he's always talking to the birds. And he's Domon's soulmate. Like,
yeah, it was. And you can tell what movies they liked when they were making this. You can tell what was kind of popular at the time because it was Prison Breakup.
Yeah.
It was literally just prison breaking out of prison. And then want to do their fun thing. It's like,
they were doing. Well, no, that was more of that show.
And then you had cool scenes like Argyle fucking.
Redemption. That's what that was more.
But then you had cool scenes like Argyle just going in and it's like, how are we gonna get out of here? And he's like, bam, right through the wall, pipe. This is the main fuel line. And everyone's just like, holy shit, through the wall.
What have you been eating? Everything.
Well, you know what? He's like, secretly I've been. Oh wait, I can't say with that. I can't say that.
Argyle's fucking awesome. I love his character, his whole arc. I know we don't get to learn most of it at this point, but like his entire arc, he's probably one of my favorite side characters. He is my favorite side character. He has the worst Gundam by far, but like his character is more than his Gundam.
I don't know.
He gets bowling balls on his arm. What's the chain balls? It's like wrecking balls.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I mean,
I don't know. It's kind of lame. Bolt Gundam's kind of lame.
It's just bland. It's bland.
I mean, the ones that always get into the games, for instance, are Dragon, Burning, Shining, and Master Asia. Those are the 4 that always get into the games, usually. Shining gets in... No, Burning gets in instead of Shining.
Burning gets in instead of Shining,
Yeah, but if they're more expansive, they get all 4. So.
Yeah, because Burning's just Shining, but better.
Well, Burning is a different type of Shining. Burning is God Gundam, usually, in Japan, I believe. Shining is Shining Gundam, I think, still.
It depends on how it's portrayed, because this version of it is actually really good, and I like it. But it's not the one in the anime.
What? We're talking.
Loading.
That is not Gundam.
That's I thought that's a redesign.
No.
That's
No, that's some Zaku bullshit that's been strapped on the
That's
Bolt.
yeah.
yeah. But like that, or okay, how about this one? This is from a game, I think. It looks like it's from a video game.
You're gonna pop up the fucking chibi fighters.
Nope.
He's gonna just show you a Skullgirl. It's gonna be
Yeah,
like,
that's just
"Wow."
Bolt Gundam. That is literally just Bolt Gundam.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's what do you like about
That's
that?
a pretty
I
lame
think it's
design.
A very bland Gundam design. They just give them a really. They put bowling
See,
balls.
what's happening here is it's more concept arty, so they put more details into them, but you're not going to get those details in the show ever, especially
Yeah, and the angle
1994.
it's also a really good angle too. Like kind of got him like angled. The camera's kind of back.
Because straight on, if you're looking at it from his head is just goofy, and he has like this cleft eyebrow, and it looks kind of dumb.
Yeah.
See, I always like those type of characters though, like the beefy characters. Like
So you like Canada? I honestly think the Canadian Neo Canada's Gundam is much better than Bolt.
the grizzly bear dude.
Yeah,
Grizzly Gundam. That's fucking cool design.
That Gundam looked fucking awesome.
Especially because you could just swap out the axes into it too, so it's not only physically strong. That's what's cool about it.
Yeah, fucking axes on the grizzly.
But Bolt is just a stronger Gundam though. So and is piloted by a better pilot, who's actually good-willed too.
It's more just a better pilot. That was just kind of the whole weird thing. I'm a pirate, but I'm a good guy. That was a weird thing.
I like. No, well, his thing is he never kills innocents. He doesn't.
I'm being held hostage because they're holding my people hostage. I could literally murder that chick and go free all my people before they would even know. Like, in all honesty.
Yeah, and he was forced into. But it's just like he's kind of willingly taking his prison. I like him because he's a good guy. He's like, yeah, what I did was illegal. Yeah, they caught me, so I'm just kind of doing it. Yeah, I could easily break out. They're not stopping me.
I could punch this wall down right now.
Well, literally, he could break out whenever he wants. That's why they have the bomb on his chest.
Yeah, literally, like later on in the show, I'm going to do what I want. He's like, but bomb, I don't care.
All right, blow it up. You lose your fighter. You think I give a shit? I'm in prison all day.
I just liked that she was just like, I don't know what to say to this. She's like,
I like it. His whole team, all of Neo Russia is fucking awesome. I love all of Neo Russia.
Well, they all have they all have unique, distinct personalities.
Yeah.
You know,
they were put time into. They were taking time and designing some of the characters.
Yeah.
It's just not one-off characters.
I mean, Saiseshi had that was his name, Saiseshi.
Saiseshi, they were like, we're just playing
with
the
his thing, but he was more tropey.
Trope.
And he had the tropey masters following around the gifted student, going, no, don't do that stuff. And it was like, yeah, but Like the one thing good about Saiseshi that I like his character is that he was tricking Domon into helping him. That was kind of cool.
Hysterical.
I'll give him that credit.
That was hysterical. Yeah.
No,
that was funny.
Like don't worry, bro. I got you. I'll make it up to you. This is my thanks for you for giving me the ride in the car. And it's like, all right, sure, I'll wait here. It's like, hey, he's over there. He's right there.
That was so good.
You guys see him? He's right there.
He's like, I'm gonna kill this goddamn kid. He's like, yeah, I want to be a personal chef.
And then he comes back out. He's like, hey, no, bro, I just did that to get us in here. Here, I'm unlocking your cage. You can go. You can eat the food.
Your thing's over here. You
can do it. And he gets out of the cage. Domon's escaping! Immediately. It's like, I gotta give him that. That's kind of cool. I like that about his character, but he doesn't have that going into the future, especially later when they go to the forest and he starts like panty-shotting Rain for no reason.
They gave him a good introduction, and they just kind of like took that playful. I like when shows have those like rambunctiously playful characters. I just hate when they take it away.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't know. It's like they're very hard characters to keep.
Mummy fight, Mummy Gundam. That was the particular scene where he got intolerable. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that's the double-edged swords with those type of characters. Like
because he was like, bro, help me out here. It's a scary Gundam, and it's like, just fucking fight it. You're a pilot. You are literally in the best possible position to fight this fucking dude.
I don't know. I don't like his Gundam design.
Dragon?
I like that.
Dragon's fucking sick. I just hate the pilot.
Yeah, I don't.
My problem with Dragon.
I think Gundam looks cool. It's a well-designed Gundam.
It's literally the opposite of Bolt. It's like trope good swap. That's like literally Bolt in reverse.
Okay, so here's my problem with Gundam. One, I don't like the shoulder guns. I think they're stupid.
But you like shoulder wrecking balls.
Yes, that's awesome.
What about head guns? What are guns attached to
Talking
their
on the
faces?
head of that's
fine.
Gundam. Yeah.
Yeah, no, guns to faces, that's fine. But guns on shoulder pads, it's stupid. Second, I don't like its colors design. I know it's more like Chinese based. I just don't like it. I know the colors pop. I just don't like it. I just like more darker color schemes, and this one's more vibrant. It's just my personal preference. That's why I don't like the Gundam design.
Here's a good 3D modeling of it.
Maybe if I had a model and I paint, yeah. I just don't like the stupid fucking.
And here's the show representation.
You don't like vibrant stuff.
Yeah, that green is like. See the difference.
Its intent is to pop, and it clashes with the red. So like,
yeah,
whenever he's on screen, you know he's on screen.
Yeah. See, the thing I like about the 3D design rather than that is the green is more a docile tone rather than this like punch you in the face kind of green. Because with getting coloring, I kind of know this some stuff now is that lighter colors seem like they're coming towards you more, and dark colors go away. And I don't think it has that like good combination because it's all bright, so it's all coming at you. That's just my personal preference.
Okay, so Domon's Shining Gundam, where it's bright blue, bright red, bright white.
Yeah, it's the same thing. That it just doesn't have like that stupid fucking arm miniguns or shoulder miniguns.
Well, those are flags that he has in his shoulders. Those are his flags. Those aren't guns.
Yeah. But from that like picture, and you kind of like see that it could be fucking. I don't like that holding place. I'm sorry for saying guns, even though they're not guns. Yeah. See, for this, it kind of works because it's more of the docile white tone.
Well,
and
Shining Gundam is unfortunately stuck looking like this because he's the protagonist.
Yeah.
And all protagonists have to look like the original Gundam.
Yep. But the thing with this is it actually has some very dark colors to actually draw you into some of the designs, and it's mostly white, which is not as strong. That's why I like this Gundam design better than
I was like white because it's a base design. It's just base. Which he's even rocking it a bit too. It's just you're swapping out the blue for the green for the most part of that.
And like
the color palette's still relatively similar.
Yeah,
actually, it's almost identical. There's green, there's red.
It's just the way it's contoured to show the darkness of some areas.
So like, where were we? Dark Gundam.
Yep.
Dark Gundam intro, where the government does some really fucked up shit to Domon.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that whole that was great. I like when they go back to a raid and you just sees him in the room with the destroyed
and he's just talking to his family that's dead. And doesn't exist. Well, not as dead, but mostly dead and doesn't exist.
I'm so sick. It's so sickening. Like I can't blame her for that. Like there was no way I could keep up that facade.
She genuinely likes Domon. She doesn't know that Domon loves her though, but she genuinely likes Domon.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh, this is just cruel. This isn't right.
Yeah, that was kind of fucked up. I didn't like that episode.
That was very.
Not that whole episode, just that part.
And then he goes into, it gives you the whole backstory, and like, they even make it a point because apparently some people didn't know of like, no, Domon wasn't actually there during this time period. It's like, yeah, we know. But it's like, I guess some people would go, wait, how is Domon in the past? I guess so, whatever.
Yeah. They wanted to see.
It's a cool intro though for Dark Gundam.
Well, it was a great way to get the backstory out there. You know, rather
it's like, let's see if Domon can actually fight Dark Gundam.
Yeah. Yeah, they were able to do the exposition up and give us kind of a little test.
And you get the introduction of his super mode!
Cool.
Super mode!
I hate that name.
It changes when he gets Shining.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my super mode.
No, the only time it was particularly annoying is when he was training in the forest. Because it just keeps coming up. And it's like
when they
twice
say
an
it
episode.
20 times in 4 episodes, yeah, no.
Yeah. It's just a bit weird and goofy when he's just sitting there going, I need to figure out how to activate my super mode. The sentence doesn't...
I guess Super Saiyan...
he does literally turn into a Super Saiyan, and that was appropriate. That's kind of what they were going for with it. I mean, Domon in the pilot scene actually does become golden. Like, literally golden. So... But again, they make strong parallels, Starling and the Frogs cough, between the fighters and their pilot and their Gundams, because that's the intent. Is that there's apparently a one-to-one connection between the fighter and the Gundam. So a stronger fighter means a stronger Gundam, even if the fighter isn't even if the Gundam isn't even that great. That's why Master Asia could do a lot with a really shitty old Gundam. Yeah. Because he's an incredible fighter, so he can push the Gundam well beyond its limits. It's a cool thing that I appreciate a lot.
What's the word I'm looking for? There's this Gundam kind of show where is a really good pilot, but he's driving like a shitty Gundam, like literally made from.
Yeah. Where he's literally Char is literally using regular.
In the beginning, he's using a slightly modified variant of.
No, it's not in G-Gundam.
We're just saying no. It's
that's like literally Char
with Char in like the original show. He uses a slightly better Zaku, which is just a basic mobile suit, like a doll, which is like the remote control ones they use, which are pieces of shit. Mm-hmm. Okay, he is a slightly upgraded one, and he's fighting a fully developed and advanced Gundam, and he's able to beat it with
multiple times.
Yeah, with just a basic mobile.
And then he gets demoted.
Slightly upgraded.
And all the troops are like, ha, Char, you suck. What are you going to do with that, your fancy Gundam and rank? And, like, he just goes on the battlefield and stomps everything and is like a beast. So he's like, yeah, the Zaku build is amazing. I don't know why you idiots have so much trouble with it. It's literally like the best designed mech you could ever hope for.
Do you guys understand that my mech wasn't a super mech?
And the first paychecks he gets when he gets promoted, what does he do? He paints it red. Doesn't upgrade it. He paints it red.
He's like, and mostly it's just the paint job.
It's why I like the original Gundam at all. Is because of Char. Mm-hmm. If it was just Armor Ray,
Argo,
it would be fucking
Armon
awful.
Armon, yeah, Armon. That's what his name was.
Yeah, but is the only thing the first one has is its counter with Char.
Armor Ray. Yeah.
Okay, so we just finished the one
Dark
episode.
Gundam introduction where he fights Dark Gundam and he's super mode or hyper mode.
And it's in there, and they're like, it's about his anger, the madder he gets, and he's able to take that anger and turn it into.
Yeah, it was kind of cringy.
Nobody else can pilot it.
It was meant to be off of Super Saiyan. Yeah. It was popular at the time.
It's like, I can transform.
It was slightly.
I mean, Inuyasha even kind of did it a little.
Oh god,
where they had the transformation.
Oh god, yeah, and he goes as full demon, and his hair starts spiking or some shit.
Yeah, he didn't do that too often. Like that was, it was more about like the weapons evolving. Mm-hmm. Like they had a lot. Like
I can wind Scar multiple times.
But the one who really evolved
Cyclone Scar
was his fucking brother, dude. That dude.
Yeah.
That motherfucker, man. He went through some shit. Mm-hmm. I love when he had the healing zone. He's like, "What the fuck do I do with this piece of shit?"
Okay, so design-wise, did you guys like the design of Dark Gundam?
Yeah,
I didn't mind it.
It's a big bad design. Some people have a problem with like the body sticking out of the head, but like when you're trying to do like an entity of evil, I don't really care. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it looked alright.
The primary bad guy is Master Asia, anyways. Dark Gundam isn't like the most threatening thing. It's Master Asia in front of the Dark Gundam.
I mean, when you just look at it like this, it's kind of bad, but...
Well, I don't think it's a great design. I don't mind it. I don't think it's horrible.
It doesn't make my eyes bleed, like some designs.
Yeah, exactly. It isn't like the ones from Darling and the Fran where I'm like,
oh. That's the stupid chibi one. Oh, you want to talk about Darling in the Fran also is trying to mimic Dark Gundam when it goes to the final form. Anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, that is 1-to-1. Okay, so I should say that now. My brain, the reason this got recommended is because my brain was like, that was really similar to G-Gundam. And I'm like, nah, brain, you're stupid. It's been so long. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, it's been years since you've watched G-Gundam. Yeah, you watched a lot, but, like, it's been years. And then as I was watching this over time, I'm like, Holy shit, Darling in the Franxx got inspired by G-Gundam. Holy shit! Like, all over the place in the beginning half. Like, whew. And it's fine if you're inspired by something. That doesn't hurt Darling in the Franxx. It's cool to be inspired by something, especially something old. Because you did it and you upgraded some things. You downgraded the designs, but you upgraded in some ways.
No,
these mech designs are 1,000 times better than Darling in the Franxx.
I like some of the mechs.
The Stampede modes are cool, but you only get one in Stampede mode.
Like, their color designs were horrible.
No, the only bad color design was the bad character.
All of the ones except for the main one?
Yeah,
no,
they all literally had like very. Based on what you just described, they all had shitty color scheme.
No, like the vibrant pink one, but the blue and white one wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but that was that blue and white one, and which was Ichigo's,
and then
it was Ichigo and 02 were the only two good designs.
Yeah, Ichigo and 02.
The other one that was acceptable was the one that had the dual cannons, the lesbian pilot.
I mean, she's fine. I like the black.
That was awful. That was just a black robe and a gun. Cannon. That's all that was. No wonder you like Bolt.
Yeah, fuck you.
I gotta, yeah.
It makes sense why you like Bolt.
Awesome.
No, that's your taste, and that's fine. It just explains why you like Bolt.
I mean, that's fine if that's
because it's really similar. Oh my god, she's just Bolt Gundam. Wait, was the hyperactive one? Hold on, Darling. Oh no, I can't type it. No, I know that. No, there's no way the hyperactive one looks like. Oh, but it's got the claws kind of on the hands, kind of like Dragon Gundam has the. Kind of like Dragon Gundam has the dragon heads. Did they just like mimic designs too? And Ichigo is blue and white, and Shining Gundam is primarily blue and white. That's a stretch. Okay, I'm gonna go out here and say that's a stretch, but the coincidence is kind of funny to look at and think about. Because wow, does that seem similar now that I'm thinking about that. But hey, and even Dark Gundam just kind of replaced the bottom half with just a dress.
A head. And
instead of a dress, instead of a head, you replace the bottom half with a dress, and then you just literally have
a giant face.
That'd be so fucking creepier if they went Darling in the Franxx with this and you had like a giant flesh face beneath the giant flesh body. Then you get into some creepy territory. So next episode is Neo America, Neo Japan, and Neo Mexico.
Mexico.
Where Neo America was trying to drag out Neo Mexico.
Mexico.
Which was a really... The beginning of this is stupid because the means of getting the fighters to fight was stupid of like, oh, well, I needed to... We saw the ocean. Our grandpa talked about the ocean one time, and we're like, want to go to the ocean? Yeah, I want to go to the ocean. And that was the rest of their lives, apparently.
Let's go to the fucking ocean.
And when she saw the ocean, she caught a disease that's only curable in the colonies.
Well, she caught a disease on the colonies.
Unwilling to go back to their colony.
No, you couldn't cure it in the colonies. It was uncurable. The disease was untreatable, but it was given because... Well, I don't.
Stabilized it.
I think the stabilization was put her in a time capsule, like the father. I think that's the stabilization.
You mean like Mr. Freeze and Batman?
Yeah.
I mean, technically that killed his wife, but you know.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
He's like with that one strip of where he unveils his wife. He's like, "I found the cure," and he's trying to resuscitate her, and he's like, "Oh, she was in there too long." Oh god.
Wait, completely cryogenically 100% freezing their body kills a person? Shit. I didn't think this through enough.
What killed the dinosaurs?
Yeah, I see.
You just
but it won't kill my wife. My dead wife.
I was talking about that one strip. It was just kind of like a whole like realization. Like, yes, I did. I could say I murdered her.
Well, she was gonna die anyways. So I can kind of blank this one out. So yeah, Neo Mexico. Neo Mexico was good because it showed like... The only reason this was good at all is because it showed the divide between Domon's class of fighter and a regular fighter. Where like a regular Gundam fighter isn't really anything at all, and how the first guy who Domon ran into, the Neo-Italy guy, was actually pretty strong. Reason why he was the leader of the mob organization, because he was actually strong. Unlike Neo Mexico, which was just a talented fighter or a big dude, probably. And he was probably equivalent to the boxer, you know?
Yeah.
That Domon knocks out in one hit. And so it's a similar result of him knocking him out in one hit with Shining Finger. Then he goes all hard on it, and just like, he's dead. And then Rain turns around and is like, so he's dead. And they're like, yep, he died honorably fighting for Neo Mexico. Even though they were hunting him the whole time. I kind of like it. It's a neat story, but the way of them getting there to the neat story is kind of dumb, I think.
Yeah.
And it goes to lengths of Neo America going, like, looking at Neo Japan, because he was the one that was still, like, at odds with Neo Japan still. That was kind of like the, alright, you're
Oh, really?
right,
He
you're
kind of
alright.
high-fived him and then fingered his fucking hand off.
Yeah. Much be
I
a
would be
bitch to
right.
replace, because it's not like the arm got cut off. It's
Shining
fucking gone.
finger is not a finger. It's a palm.
Yeah, it's a hand.
That
It's
annoys me.
it's
sorry.
monk
I-
technique, you know, like the fuck. What
I
is it?
understand. I understand the premise of it.
You know the
It's
joke movie
whenever
with the
he's
the
saying-
monk's palm or divine palm or some shit? It's supposed to be like
I
that.
understand what you're talking about, but it's like whenever he's saying gold finger shining, stretch his whole hand out. It's like that is wrong.
Well, then Master Asia does darkness finger to counter it.
I
And then
know,
they finger
that
each other. Master and pupil fingering each other.
two wrongs don't make a porno.
Sorry, good
Two
man.
wrongs do
You
make
could
a
probably
porno.
find it on some Domon training with Master. Oh, that's creepier because Domon was younger. Neo Canada fight, which borderlines on being creepy at times because of the way that Neo Canada has, like, he's just a lone buff burly dude in the woods, and he just steals rain, and it's like, is this gonna go bad places?
I can see there's several notions about this, I'd imagine.
He's talking about how his wife was lost.
But his beard
Yeah, and he got, not only did
was
he grow the
legendary.
beard, he got fucking
Grizzly Adams
huge
status.
in 5 years.
Yeah.
He got
Yep.
so
Oh, yeah.
fucking huge in 5 years.
Well, he saw how big the man he had to kill
Every
was. He's like, I
single
can
day,
bigger than that.
like every single day, he must have worked out everything. He
Yeah,
got
he
fucking
should've.
huge.
He fought bears in his spare time.
Oh, yes.
Fun.
That they're just fighting bears.
That is so like, looks like a sketch of some kid that drew it because it's colored like shit.
Oh no, trust me, I looked it up. Fucking, where is it? Where? Look what I found. Also, I looking up just Neo Fighter Canada just to fucking show everyone.
Hmm.
I found this.
Don't.
You guys don't want to talk about this, Shadow?
No, that's spoilers actually.
Uh,
I think
Oh,
that
I
may be
spoiled
spoilers.
something.
It's been years, but let's just say Viking Gundam is stupid as shit. Okay, that's not Viking Gundam. But did you remember at the end of this show when they show a boat Gundam? That's Viking Gundam.
Stop putting up pictures
I
of
think
random
you're showing
guys.
jobbers that died to other jobbers.
I must show this.
I
one.
don't know.
Don't show
And
random.
you-
Don't
no,
show us random
I
Dark
must
Gundams.
Show.
Stop showing us random Dark Gundams.
Yeah, that's
Damn
a
it.
different one. You're literally
Fishies.
showing spoilers. You're showing spoilers. Stop that.
Fishies. You will swim with the fishies.
Stop that. You're
Stop
literally showing spoilers.
Spoiling.
I don't care.
Spoiling. Go ahead.
That must be shown as soon as possible.
So Neo Canada's backstory was pretty cool and because it was Argyl's backstory.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
he's just cool, and his interactions with the other characters, he's always just cool. There's not much to say about Argyl. He's cool. You see him,
Yeah.
he's pretty cool. He's
He's
chill.
I don't know. He's just fine.
He's the only
fine.
one
He
that doesn't get PTSD from the Dark Gundam, for instance. He's the only one. Because he's just kind of chill.
Yeah.
He's level-headed.
No, he's like, I'm just gonna do whatever Russia tells me anyway. Sad now.
Of the fighters in this series, he was my favorite. Like, of the jobbers, I should say.
I mean, Domon's my favorite, but yes. Of the jobbers, he's by
America,
far.
man.
Yeah, he was my favorite purely because I loved his design.
Yeah. America. Fuck yeah, I liked him because when he was in the studio, he had a big ass fucking star and shit. They're like, bam.
Here's the thing.
Star was like, yup. Nope.
I wanted to like someone other than America, even though I loved America. I love America.
Well, Chimney's just charismatic. That's like the whole thing about Chimney.
Yeah, he's good. He's just a good character.
He's the charmer.
He's just a good character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's the charming
fighter. Of like unique characters that is like the design of, I like Canada's design. Also, I love his
complete
better.
choppers. Canada's pretty.
The mech looks fucking amazing.
He's pretty up there. Well, because it's just a big, beefy Gundam, and usually the beefy Gundams don't have weapons.
That's the best looking Gundam probably in the show, in my opinion. I think that looks. I
agree with you.
I think it looks better than Dragon. I think Dragon looks good, but I think it looks better. I think
Burning Gundam is by far like. I mean, you don't get to see much of it, but later.
But
like Burning Gundam is my favorite.
We can't comment on Burning, but what we've seen so far, I think is about. I think it's the best one, like because it looks better than Dragon. I mean, Dragon.
No, but Sailor Moon Gundam is everyone's fan favorite.
Don't talk about Sailor Moon Gundam.
Yeah, that's spoiler. Hey, you just posted like 5 spoilers.
We don't talk about that.
I've seen. I commented on how
that's the one I didn't show. The ones I just saw.
I comment on Domon. At least he didn't find a way to ruin Niagara Falls as well. Neo Canada versus Neo Japan versus Neo Russia. I like how Domon bounces between Neo Canada, loses, and then runs over to Neo Russia and is like, hey yo, fight me real quick. I want to see something. Gets into the same position as Neo Canada and uses his new technique he thought up of to just beat Neo Russia. Is like, all right, going for Neo Canada again. Second bout.
That was great. He's like, okay, I got a plan.
Now, I did this with the other one I liked, or the other one I didn't like, so let me tell you why I like this one so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only just because it's a dark color scheme, it's because it has the highlights of yellow that makes the color scheme pop. Now, there we go. That's why I like that color design, because the dark colors make it look like it's going away, while the gold jumps out at you, so you don't have to just look at everything on the screen of the Gundam. That's why I like it.
Well, like it's not solid that it's not bright. It's more that. That's how it looks in the show.
Yeah, but I'm talking. I like that design better.
So that's a neat fight, and then you get to see like, oh no, and then even Neo Russia's prisoner is like, yeah, we picked him up when he was trying to save your wife. We were chasing him. We forced him into your station. Your fight's literally pointless. You wasted the last 5 years of your life. He was trying to save your wife. He was like, no! No! Do you know how many bears I fought?
I wrestled all of them.
You know what would have been funnier? I was thinking, like, it would have been so horrible. He's like, yeah, no, I saved her. I dropped her off at a planet, and she just didn't care. She's married and has 3 kids now. He's like,
oh, that would have been terrible. That would have been terrible.
I would have been I would have felt bad for him.
It would have been horrible, but I still would have gotten a nice little, like...
That would have been like a Darling in the Bronx, like...
That is so funny.
Like, fat guy crawling on the floor crying that it hurts. Like, I feel bad for him.
Like, it's like, it would be funny, but I would still feel really bad for him, but it would have been like... What?
I would not have liked that. That would
have been like a really shocking, like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, that would be like that, but I don't want to.
Like that. A lot of shows don't give you that. You're just like, what? Like, just complete shock and dumbfoundedness. You know, that would have been great.
When's the last one you could think of?
Can't think of any.
That would be like Alchemist, not Full Metal Alchemist.
Full-time.
No, he's saying FMA, not full-time magister.
My brain mixed.
No, I understood that, but like I was asking, do you mean
Chimeras?
He means
beginning of the not the beginning of the Chimeras, the beginning of the homunculi. No, beginning of the Chimeras, not the homunculi. Because those are two.
Oh, you think of the I
the
get
girl and the dog.
Yeah, with the girl and the dog being turned into it.
Oh yeah.
Like in the original show when they revealed who Lust was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you remember the original show Poison, like who Lust was.
Yep.
Their failed mother. So that was kind of the one that was like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, I fucking. Like, I've only watched the original. I haven't watched the Brotherhood.
Oh, you should watch Brotherhood. I mean, hey, Brother original was really good.
If we're gonna, I mean, if you're gonna recommend,
You
if
know,
we're gonna start talking about that, I think we should watch all the first one first of Brotherhood.
I think
not
you watched
Brotherhood.
the,
Not
I think
Brotherhood.
you
We
watched
should
the
watch
first
Fullmetal
one up to
Alchemist
Greed.
first.
You watched the first one up to Greed because I think the
I
first
think
one
we
is
should
kinda
finish it because
shit.
it's like
I just don't think it's good still for the most part. It's like they have the scar.
Well,
I watched a bit of it and it was alright.
Let's get through Gundam. We're on episode like, fuck, what is it?
I mean, you could finish off Gundam if you want. We
You can
only have
finish off
24.
Gundam, then I could start FMA if you want.
We could do that, and I'll follow it
Well-
up because FMA is 60. So then we would just do one more rotation of FMA.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing I was going to recommend is that when we do these, just finish them through and then have the person
You
like
just
finish
do, like,
an anime and then have the next person just recommend an anime.
We could, as long as
could
it's not
do
too
that,
long. Like
as
if
long
I
as you
said
don't,
Hunter x Hunter, we're not going to do
No.
500 parts of Hunter
No.
x Hunter.
We're not
Yeah.
doing 260.
Like
episodes.
I feel like we should finish Gundam.
And if that happens and then like somebody misses it for a week, then we just do combination of two rather than one batch. We would just do 2 batches.
we
instead.
could do something like that.
We
yeah.
could fine tune it a bit more. We probably should, honestly.
Probably
Yeah.
should. But we could definitely do that. Like, just do this all the way through. Like, we do this again next week. You know,
yeah,
then-
also have a set date.
I mean, the set date is... See, my schedule is mostly free. I can free up time on the weekends usually pretty easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
My
but it's like-
schedule is Saturday and Sunday.
every week. So my schedule changes every week. So
Yeah, so that's the problem with putting a specific
like
date.
next week, I literally work Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. So everyone would just have to... Basically, the best way around that is stating it beforehand and then moving into it.
Yeah.
And then, like, for
Like,
instance,
let me see.
if you got a day that you think you can do it, just say it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll think about
Maybe.
that later.
Yeah, I don't know, but
New England.
yeah.
Which is a
New
cool
England.
fight.
Oh,
Because it's actually really fucking cool.
Yep.
Of how
Yeah, this
it's a fighter who can't keep fighting anymore because he's getting old. And he wants to keep fighting.
Yep.
And is pushing himself to
It's
his
kinda
absolute
like-
limits to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Master Roshi should have ended.
Yes.
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 Yes. It's exactly what should have happened back to
Yeah.
Roshi, actually.
It's like this is what happens to fighters. They want to keep fighting, and they eventually just can't do it anymore,
Eventually,
and they
the
die.
body just can't. The body can't keep up with the mind. The mind knows what
Mm-hmm.
the body just can't.
Or in his
You know?
case, the body could keep up, but the mind just got old.
The mind couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
The brain got old. You know, so he had to just start popping mental
Stimulants like a
They
motherfucker.
were fucking. Oh my! Like they were candy corn. That's what they were. He was probably mental.
Yeah, he was just fucking just. Oh!
Dude,
There's
like,
literally scenes where he's talking, he's just shoveling it into his mouth. It's really cool. It's cool
like,
how
dude,
addicted
how
they show
big-
him into
Like,
it.
how big of a bag of those pills did he fucking have in that bag? You know what I mean? Like, he must have like
Yeah.
built a bucket of them. You know, he just reaches.
This is an episode because of its seriousness and its situations could be transmitted into an abridged so unbelievably easily.
Oh yeah. Oh
Of
yeah.
like, I'm not even talking about Neo England. You could have Neo England working perfectly fine, but then when Rain gets a little bit of the drug, she's like, time to see what this is. Instead of mental stimuli, go like, this is pure cocaine. This is 100% cocaine. And then she just goes
Yeah.
back in for more. Like, it's so,
Okay, I need to go here seconds.
like, it's super fucking,
And
but
then
like,
instead
that's
of, like,
actually
looking
genuinely
for the
good.
signs of cheating. She's just down. Freaking high stoper.
Yeah. This is the episode where I started to notice Rain keeps getting punched in the gut so much. I'm starting to get worried that she's gonna have issues. Like she's not gonna be able to get pregnant later. Because it's just every time she gets knocked out,
That's always right in the
it's
gut.
always in the gut. And I'm like, she's
also,
gotta
I
have
don't
problems
like that.
after this.
Okay, so here's the thing how knockouts work. And
It
why
doesn't
they
happen
work.
with the gut. That's one thing.
Yeah, because how you knock someone out is a very technical thing. It's actually
The
not
brain
you.
bashing against the skull.
Yeah, it's
That's a
It's
concussion.
not very technical.
It's a concussion.
no, it's how you do it in one punch that's
Yeah.
technical. The best place to do it, it's called the knockout button. You punch their chin at an upward angle, usually an uppercut, so it
Jams
rattles the
spinal cord and
brain.
it jams the brain.
Yeah. So it bounces around and hits multiple.
You
times.
can't rattle the brain when you punch their stomach.
No, but if you hit them hard enough, you can sense
You
so much
can
pain
pass out
that they
from
pass
pain.
out. Yeah.
But
And
Rain is also stronger than that. And also, not everyone would be able to knock her out with a punch to the gut. Like, I just feel bad for Rain at this point because she gets hit in the gut like 4 or 5 times.
I mean, the worst one was the Canada dude. Like
Yeah, no, because he could probably punch a bear out.
Yeah, he's been fighting bears for fun for like 50 years.
5.
10 years, sir.
5.
Was it 5?
Stop
5.
adding years. Yes, he got that jacked in 5. So it was so crazy.
Man's a professional bear wrestler, okay?
Hey, you don't know how masculine you can get by wrestling bears. The only person who's tried is now bear feces.
It's cool. The ending of the New England fight is really cool too, because she says like, "I'm sorry, I pushed you this far. I didn't mean to push you to this point." And he's like, "No, I knew the whole time. It's fine."
Yeah, no, I love that how he knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he knew she was.
Yeah, it kind of hurt my
cheating.
honor a bit to use dummies and stuff, but
He's like, I kind of realized like I couldn't fight them fair and square. There's no way I could compete with either of them. You know, so it's like how he came to that realization. He did want to keep fighting, so he accepted her help and didn't say anything.
And he loved her, and she loved him, and she knew that his death was coming. And it wasn't
gonna happen.
It wasn't like a moment of like, "Oh, you're dead." She just breaks down because she knew it was coming for like years. She knew this was going to be the inevitable end, and she even turns to Rain and is like, "This is how he's going to end up. If he keeps going down this way, this is how he's going to die." It's like he's going to die really early, and his body's going to be exhausted. Like that's how he's going to die. It's like, I like that. That was cool.
Yeah.
You got to give it credit when this show.
It's how fucking super.
Yeah, no, it's how certain things do take. It's how certain shows handle it when you handle it with seriousness, and you actually look at the episode like Argyle. He's not a bad guy, but he agrees with the situation. He's like, yeah, I was a pirate. That's what I was. So yeah, I'm accepting my prison sentence. I'm not gonna try to bust out. I'm gonna try to save my people under me.
Well, even the Canada thing, he's like, yeah, no, I failed to save
I
her
helped
life.
you. That was my mistake. I should have grabbed her sooner.
Yeah, he's like, I should have been able to save her. And if you want to kill me,
that's fine. You can do it. Come fight me later.
You can come kill me anytime you want.
I'm not going to fight you with Rain in your chest.
Yeah, exactly. No. It's like I will challenge whenever. I don't got an issue.
I won't kill you, but if you want to kill me, that's fine. I would 100% agree. I would be in the same position if you kill my crew or something.
Yep.
Like, exactly. You got to give them credit.
It's like they did the serious moments right. They knew when to be serious. I'll give them credit in that regard. They knew when to be serious. So.
Now, did they push their comedy characters a little bit too far away?
So Shashi.
Yeah.
They kind of they got tired of their own jokes.
Mummy Gundam is the next one too. So hey.
Okay.
Mummy Gundam versus Dragon Gundam.
Their own jokes. So.
And it's your first incarnation of like how strong the Dark Gundam could be, of just infinite reincarnation. That's. Again, it's my favorite power because it means the heroes actually have to think about how they beat it, because they can't just normally wear it down like all normal fights, how fights normally happen if like the protagonist wears down the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas here, nope, just straight up, you
fucking...
gotta really overkill it.
God, no, I'm thinking of fucking Naruto Shippuden. Last arc, Madara fight.
Mm-hmm.
Took 50 episodes.
Yeah, because Naruto's bad though.
Well, that just because Guy aimed a little too far to the right. I mean, Guy could have killed him. Okay. I mean, when he went,
let's just all blame Guy Sensei for this.
No, Guy Sensei was another one that should have just died because he fucking.
So are we skipping the Mummy Gundam?
Doing
talking about Mummy Gundam, are we skipping that?
Mummy Gundam? Yeah, I want to skip that.
Okay.
Yeah, I vouch.
The Mummy was cool, but like the fight with Dragon Gundam was kind of annoying because it was just Saiseshi. I was on my phone for like half of it because it was just Saiseshi freaking out about like, Gundam, it's scary, I don't want to fight it. And then when he realized, he's a fighter, he just wants to have a Gundam fight with me. That was kind of cool, but then it just kind of devolved into.
Okay, let me let me say one thing, and then we're not going to talk. I was wanting a spooky, scary skeleton to pop out, but it never did.
It kind of did.
It didn't. Not to the
I mean,
degree
you get
I
spooky,
wanted.
scary skeletons later, though. You
I
get a
know.
barrage of spooky scaries.
I know, and I
Which is
can't
metallic
wait.
spooky scaries.
Which is the best spooky, scary, because it's spookierst.
And they can
It's
regenerate.
augmented spooky.
Augmented spook.
Augmented.
Dark Gundam cells making rats kill other rats since 1997. Or, I'm sorry, 1994.
Is that the year?
Parents, are your rats doing Dark Gundam cells? I don't know. It's terrible.
Parents, your kid too nice?
But
Give
that
him
was
an
the introduction to Dark
injection
Gundam
of
cells,
Gundam
where Rain
cells.
was talking about it with the Neo-Turkey guy. Who was a past lover? Not like sexual relationship, it felt like, but
Serious
dating
ocean
relationship.
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
And it's kind of like the start of how it's kind of where the audience starts to catch on that Domon likes Rain a lot, and he just can't really say it, because the whole time he's getting jealous, but is still at the same time giving her space because he knows he's not saying anything. So he's like, yeah.
Canonically, this would be episode.
This is 11.
Yeah, 11.
This is 11.
God, we need to fucking burst through some of these episodes. Sorry, this is only going on 15 minutes, right?
Hour 38.
Yeah, we need to burst through some of these
That's
episodes.
fine.
He's gonna be scared. He's gonna be editing out like 40 minutes already. You understand that, right?
20.
Poison?
Yeah.
It's 20.
The first 18 minutes was just talking about other shit.
Yeah. Okay, continue next.
Neo Turkey. Did they heal Neo? Yeah, he healed Neo Turkey by doing Shining Finger.
Did he heal him?
It healed
Also,
Neo
I
Turkey.
thought he killed him.
No, he healed him.
Also, I like how you can just change Neo, like, light finger into anything you fucking want it to be. It's like Super Saiyan
sword.
juice. No, I mean, like, you can heal people with it. That's what I'm referring to.
It's positive.
It's turning
It's
into
positive
Goku.
energy getting shoved into GT.
It's
Into
Goku
GT.
juice. We call it Goku juice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go with this.
Domon's got a little bit of Goku in him. Let's just say that.
He's got a lot of Goku. He's got a bad
But a
case
part of the
Goku
reason he can do it is because he has life energy from the Shuffle Force. Because he is the King of Hearts,
The King of Games.
which is cool. Which is cool while Domon's the King of Hearts, but we're going to get to that in a couple episodes. Master Asia shows up and is one of the coolest fucking characters in the beginning.
Yep.
The intro is literally legendary of Domon and Master Asia shouting, "Look over there, the east is burning red!" And they do the barrage at each other. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it. I've never heard anybody that's like, Domon's relationship with Master Asia is terrible. I've never heard anyone say that.
No, you
'Cause
can't
it's
say
great.
that.
It's so fucking good.
It's how you do a master pupil
It's
relationship.
true, yeah. It's true master pupil. And he gets, like, the true betrayal. Because Master Asia didn't get corrupted like he thinks he did. He willingly serving the bad guy. Which is so good.
Oh, yeah. No,
Because then he has
the
to come to terms like,
ultimate
oh, he was
kick in the
just an
nuts.
evil dude.
Yeah.
He was just good because there was no evil guy that was stronger than him. And now that he realized there was an enemy he couldn't beat, he immediately gives up. It's so fucking strong. Okay, so in the beginning of this, they help a jet pilot guy, and then they just leave him. And then it blows up. So they just let that guy die. Because Rain was originally helping him, then they took his data, and then they left him to die. And then later they talk about how he almost sacrificed his life, and I'm like, but he blew up and you didn't have him with you.
You know, he fucking.
I feel like he died in the Japanese dub, and they just didn't care in the English when they dubbed it, or something. Because like they leave him, and he's like, he got away or something. It's like, what? No, how?
Yeah.
He blew up. He was attacked by Dark Army, and Dark Army is actually a cool threat because it's an army that's basically created out of matter that's in the surrounding area that the Dark Gundam then uses to absorb to reconstruct itself infinitely, which is cool because it's at the same time a fuel source and a point of strength. And it's basically just like
Oh no, I feel like I've seen this concept somewhere else, but it's probably later, so it stole from this.
It's probably, yeah.
But this stole from something else, probably, though. Like, there has to be, like, an infinite army that existed that can regenerate. I mean, the Dark Army can't really regenerate to the degree that Dark
I guess
Gundam
if
can.
we're being honest, all of this stole from the fucking it turned to just like, you know what I'm talking about? The China, like 1,000 people turned into stone army.
Terracotta Army.
Yep, thank you.
I guess. Yeah, but that's like that's a different thing, kind of. I was thinking that too, but yeah. Master Age is so fucking cool. I just typed in a bunch of Dark Army intro, Dark Army introduction, yada yada. Most of that was just like Master Asia pretending to help out, but in reality, Master Asia just kind of pissed off that Domon showed up because he didn't expect. He was getting easy pilots just for free. And then, all of a sudden, Domon shows up. He's like, shit. He's actually strong enough. He's going to notice something. But he already had everybody else. All the good guys already showed up there and got captured. So, oh no. Rain pilots the next episode is the Rain getting to pilot the Shining Gundam.
Also, by the way, I don't like that we forgot to mention how he was introduced, like the first second.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
And then he just gets stopped and Master Asia shows up.
Yeah.
He starts screaming and then he just fucking like, what? I was about to do the thing.
Oh, yeah. One really cool thing about that I did actually relate. I can't believe I didn't. I might have wrote a Master Asia so fucking cool, but you also get that moment where Rain sees that Domon's actually been breaking down this whole time chasing after his brother. Because when he sees Master Asia, he literally just starts crying immediately. Yeah. Like, he's so happy he finally found an ally. And he's just like, oh my god, this is so good. I can't believe I found you, Master. This is amazing. It's a touching moment.
The only thing I didn't like about his intro, I can find something wrong with it. Even though it's epic. I don't like how... I like when he was running. I like when he was like, give me your scarf. But when he was spinning in the air, it looked stupid.
Yeah, that's his technique.
It just...
he spins in the air and becomes a Beyblade.
You gotta get rid of it. He had to grasp.
Yeah.
You had to grasp for that.
No, I'm talking about like when he sighed and you just see his head from like it's okay when you see from the side, but when you see it face on...
Boost me, Domon! It's a Gundam head.
Yeah.
I like it, because it's just his technique.
I know, but that's something you could find wrong with it.
It's 1994. It's what you want.
I want better
They didn't want to get too flashy.
You had to do
It's a better tornado effect than GT, which was just a JPEG being dragged across the screen. Which is slightly above my editing skills. Rain pilots the Shining Gundam, which is really cool.
No, this is where in the episode you actually drag a peg across the screen, Shadow. To show you, just goes, yeah, do it.
Nope.
Do it.
Nope,
Future Shadow, do it.
Don't know how to. Rain.
Google it.
Rain pilots the Shining Gundam in this in 13, which is cool, because Rain actually is a big part of Shining Gundam, and she makes it a big point with the duo Shining Finger of like, this is my Gundam too. I've literally done everything to keep this Gundam alive up to this point. You may be the main controller of it, but I'm also here. And then since Domon gets to use his power of love, it's a bit stronger and yada yada yada.
Yeah, insert bullshit.
4 allies show up. No, the love stuff's fine. The part that's bullshit comes up at the end of this.
Hard on jutsu. Hard on no jutsu.
Of Domon's 4 allies have fallen to the Dark Gundam. But we're getting to the 4 allies part because shuffling happens.
Yeah.
That's the one.
They're just the 4 people he hasn't beat.
I hate the Shuffle Alliance. It's literally the worst part about the show to me.
The name is terrible. Shuffle
It's so dumb. And Master A's just working with the Dark Gundam the entire time. And then you have Shuffle Alliance showing up at the last second to save Domon. Which, the Shuffle Alliance designs are passable in the beginning because their mechs are all designed around being parts of Shuffles. Black Joker. You have the Black Joker, which is the coolest probably. Then you have the other ones that are random, and I've forgotten them completely.
Throw them up on the screen.
No.
No.
I might
I'll throw
actually.
up on the screen.
There might be a good screenshot of the Shuffle Alliance.
I'll look it up.
I want. Do you know what I'm looking for? The very specific, the picture of like where they're all lined up and they're doing the shit. Can't find it.
This is pretty cool. Different artists, different times, different. Not in the vein of it, but it's cool. It's a photo.
I think I'm seeing the same one you're gonna pick up. Yeah, the same one. That's it. That's the artist recreation of it. But yeah, it's like the Joker's fine. The one on the left sucks. The bottom one, Spade, I think. I think Joker's fine because I like the Harley Quinn-esque look.
Poison
That's
likes
about it.
the look of the multi one, so he likes the two on the side.
And I don't want like the only one that's good for me is Black Joker.
I can't think of his name right now, but I like him.
Which makes sense because Black Joker is the character that I like the most from the Shuffle Alliance. It isn't the King of Spades, King of Hearts. There you go. I was thinking of spades and diamonds, and my brain went all over because I want to say Ace of Spades, and it's like that's not it. So yeah, the Shuffle Alliance they suck. They're kind of throwaway. I'm not a fan of them.
Well, they were literally throwaway.
Yeah, super hard.
It was kind of weird to move it like, oh man, they've all awoken as our successors. Like, what a coincidence!
Yeah.
Wow, that's like.
That's you know what we need to do, right? Yes, I know exactly what we need to do.
We must sacrifice ourselves to free them of their
better fighters? Doesn't matter.
You are a successor. We can finally get done with this shit. I mean, go on, heroes of the universe.
Yeah, that whole thing was just that whole setup was weird. There,
it's dumb. It's a dumb means to give them the Shuffle Alliance crust. That's just it.
Yeah.
And it makes the other characters like Domon already had a reason to go after the Dark Gundam. It gives the other characters. It's like supposed to give them a meaning and connection that you see a lot, but it's just kind of annoying because you see that connection a lot in the Force when Domon's training, but I
don't know. It was just it was just brought up too quick. It wasn't did in any way. It felt like they were writing it and then they were like, you know what? We want these guys.
We don't want these four strong characters to show up.
We now have to. No. It's like they were looking at these characters like we want to make them like main characters now. Like main secondary characters, but we need to tie them in with Domon somehow.
Mm-hmm. So they took Domon's thing and they changed
really quickly. They're like, we'll kill all the other cards. Like,
but like the crest of the King of Hearts is so cool and it looks as a cool design. So when Domon uses his shining finger and the crest pops, it looks cool. But like the only other one that looks cool is like Chibity's looks all right. So especially it doesn't make sense with his mech.
For animation quality, this isn't actually that bad for the time.
What?
Like the total animation quality.
Oh no, it's pretty good. But Gundam is usually
Gundams are always good. They get really animated.
When you have passion behind the show for the fight scenes and stuff and the characters' actions, this one is like a counteract to what they had because the big problem with original Gundam was that half the show you're looking at cockpits that are just still frames and lip fraps. And it's just the most boring show to watch. It's a decent listen, but watching it dedicatedly is so dull.
Yeah.
Because you're watching half the time pilots talking.
Isn't about the action.
But you see people in the mechs with the backgrounds doing the actions, fighting as the Gundam. So it's a bit more. So when the character gets hurt, you have a reason that they're getting feedback. You know, it makes they make a lot of the Gundam tropes and they make it make sense, and they make it work with the show, which I like. The new form of piloting is really cool, and I also like it much better because it's a much more one-to-one. Whereas Amuro Ray, it's kind of confusing how he's doing some of the stuff with the levers and shit. Is like, wait, how are you using the gun like that though? And it's like, there's a lot of buttons in the pilot seat. You can kind of fib it, but with this, it's obvious how they're doing it because they're fucking doing it. So it works a lot better.
Yeah, which was cool. They did like the little stuff too, like kind of Like with the old man, for example, like they showed him like he's actually holding his gun, and you could see him actually aiming it when he's in his cockpit.
Yeah.
Which was a really cool like extra thing they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they didn't really need to see him ever like holding the gun. They could have just had him standing.
Yeah, but no,
there
but it
for
creates
a
an energy rifle in your hands that you actually, when you do the actual look through the scope, your Gundam literally looks through the scope. That's pretty fucking cool. Like the whole way that these fights designed, like in the future, this is the perfect VR game. Like this is like.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't say the perfect.
Well,
I
no,
mean, in the
because you have
future,
just
when you have
complete-
full motion control,
when you have
hell
full
yeah.
dive, yeah, you got
That's-
like full dive because
I'd say that's SAO.
No, I would prefer because Gundam you could do like a mech
That's
fighter.
a joke, Shadow.
I'm just saying, like a mech fighter, you could do so much more things. Like again, head Vulcan. Like you could just be thinking head Vulcan as you strafe to the right, and you're shooting while you're pulling out your rifle or something. That's really fucking cool. Like the head Vulcan doesn't do much damage. Granted, never does, never is intended to. But hey,
Yeah,
it's meant for taking out tanks and stuff. It's what it's intended for in battle. But hey.
You mean the ants of the Gundam universe?
Yeah, and that's even saying something considering this universe has smaller Gundams.
Yeah.
Because this is a universe where where the colonies were kind of chill. They still fucked up Earth, but we're more chill. They have a working relationship rather than a war relationship. Where colonies are literally suicide bombing into Earth.
That's great.
That's where space lost all liability. Master Asia working with the Dark Gundam the entire time. Shuffle Alliance shows up to save Domon. Domon has to reaffirm his beliefs because he's like, but Master could be saved, and this Shuffle Alliance is like, he's willingly fighting with him. He's not corrupted. He's willingly fighting with him, and it's kind of annoying, but it kind of makes sense because when his master was literally his all.
He's in denial. Yeah, he's literally
when his master is literally his all, it's annoying outside in, but that's how it's supposed to be because he just doesn't. He can't. His brain can't make that connection.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't think that because he knew his master as a good guy. He never knew him as a bad guy. So all of a sudden, him being evil is like, oh no. And he keeps going back on it because he gets hot-headed. He's like, "You're no longer my master, Asia. I will no longer call you master." And Asia goes, "You're no longer my pupil."
Take it.
And then later he's like, "Master, no." And it's like, yeah. It's kind of back and forth, but that's how he would be in this situation, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's a situation that's hard for him to wrap his head around.
Yeah.
And
it works.
There's no,
It works.
Mm-hmm.
Shuffle Alliance sacrifices themselves for the new air quotes question mark deck. For the new deck. And it's like all of Domon's friends he made along the way.
I
like,
like that
shocker.
actually. The new deck. I like that.
Yeah, they're the new deck of the Shuffle Alliance. That's something that I just felt like didn't need to exist.
Yeah.
The Shuffle
But
Alliance.
they had to make the main cast good again. And they were only fully corrupted by DG cells. Mm-hmm. And they didn't really want to use these kind of lame designs of the Shuffle Alliance because they are kind of lame. They're gimmicky as fuck.
By the way, DG cells is a terrible. It's a terrible name, Shadow.
What do you mean? Why is it terrible?
Oh, it's better than saying Dark Gundam cells every time.
But that's what it's referencing.
Dark Gundam cells, the Dark Gundam.
Call it like just call it like a virus, like the.
No, because it's not a virus. It's the cells that slowly take over your body.
No, I know that, but like, for example, like they could call it the. Minute. I just don't like the. It's so just. It just rubs me the wrong way. The fucking stupid name. It's a very plain name, and I just didn't like it. It's like
So
mixed feelings.
We're approaching the end of the city arc with Ghostman appearing. Ghostman appears. Do y'all know who Ghostman is?
Need the man with the mask.
Neo Germany. Schwarzbruder.
Shadow Gundam.
Schwarzbruder.
Gundam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like one of the Shadow Gundam is the other Gundam that will sometimes get into the games because it is really cool. It's just Ninja Gundam, but it's fucking cool. Mm-hmm. Like I have hard times like on ground. Yeah, I'd probably swap between Domon and Schwartz every now and again. However, that means I'm just using two brothers, but hey.
Brother.
It's pretty close.
Brother, I followed, brother. Come on, brother.
Ghost Schwarzbrüder is just
Brother.
is great. I like how he shows up, and I like how he interacts, especially in the future. How he kind of becomes Domon's new trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Kyoji appears along with the Dark Gundam's
He
rebirth.
looks at me, he's like, I am your new master. No! Yes! I am also your daddy. That can't be. And he taught me how to.
Rain
Like,
sees
wow, this show got creepy fast.
Hell yeah, brother.
Rain sees.
Why do I say that like Hulk Hogan?
Why didn't you? Well, I mean, what did you? I was expecting you to honestly put up Space Marines.
Oh, I was thinking that, but
Yeah.
I just...
Domon starts having issues with the super mode, so he runs off the train because Schwartz is like, no, super mode is literally useless if you can't use it. And he's like, no, it's great! I can kill
Master
Asia with
Asia
it.
taught me it.
Well, no, he didn't teach him it, but he's like...
I thought that would have been the best thing ever. Like, no. Bad touch.
Asia planted the seed.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like Schwartz. I like how he shows Domon how weak he is as a fighter. Like, you can't control yourself right now. You're fighting off of rage. If you could control yourself, you could fight better. See, look, I cut through this tree with a shitty sword. And he's like, oh. And he starts doing it a couple bit, and it's like, yeah, I can't really. And Domon's kind of oblivious to how he activates his super mode, which is really annoying. Because it's kind of obvious that it's more focused on his love and his willingness to protect Rain than it is, and himself, than it is, like, I'm getting angry, because it always triggers when either he's in danger or Rain is. It's not like... That's in the future, though, but that's just Domon being kind of stiff-headed, which you... Sure, you gotta give everyone their moment, so you gotta make the forest section run. You can't just immediately put one and one together and go, oh, it's Rain! That's why I keep triggering super modes. Or, oh, it's because my life's on the line. That's why I keep triggering it. So it goes off the train. And then you have the situation where literally every single guy gets forced into the forest by Domon. Where he was going there by Domon's by Schwartz. When he was just going there to train. He's like, I'm going there because it's solitude and I can get peace and quiet and work on it. And then everyone shows up. Literally everyone.
Well, that's a lot of training.
Even Dark Gundam, though.
The new deck showed up, man.
Yeah. Like, the weirdest one is Neo Russia, because it's like, so why are we coming here to fight against... Why are we coming here to fight against Neo Japan? Because you want to practice? He's like, yeah, I want to fight Neo Japan again. He looks like he got stronger. It's like...
Anime reasons or anime.
You're getting brought here for a reason. The others made sense because Schwartz literally brought them there. Which I did like Chibity. How he's like kind of freaking out. Because he's not a dishonorable fighter, so when he got demounted, he probably would have just given up. But instead, he fucking freaks out, gets PTSD, and starts shooting him with revolvers. Shoots the shit out of the Gundam, too. Like, tears it to fucking pieces. That's awesome. I love that. I like how they genuinely gave certain weaker characters, like PTSD. That was a really cool touch. Of how Chibity, like weaker-willed characters, Chibity and Saseshi, both ended up with PTSD from Dark Gundam. I like that a lot. How they needed to re-get their fighting spirit. That was cool. I especially like how Schwartz introduced it to the crew. Chibity's crew. And that's the same episode where you get Chibity's crew's backstory, which is, sure.
It's fine.
Sure. Yeah, it's not bad because it wasn't a whole episode, but it was there.
It
explained why the girls are following him, so sure.
Yeah. I mean, it served a purpose, you know.
More than I can say about some other animes.
It was inspired by Domon's will to progress. And just the watching...
Did you say bust just now?
No, Chibity was inspired by Domon's progression.
Oh.
And he's like, well, I was gone feeling bad about myself. Domon's been here, fighting the Dark Gundam the entire time. And it, like, freeze frames and Domon's kicking the Dark Gundam manually. Like, not even in his suit. That was funny.
Because that mental image training is strong enough.
He's been fighting the Dark Gundam the whole time in this forest. That must be why he's here. It's like, no, he's training, you idiot.
He meant it from a mental perspective. He didn't mean he was
Yeah.
physically fighting the Dark Gundam.
I know, but it's just hilarious. Because it
Yeah, it's
freezes
funny
the
if
Dark
you take
Gundam,
it
it looks
so
like
far.
he's kicking the Dark Gundam. You get he develops the Burning Punch. Chibbity develops his Burning Punch.
Yep.
And Domon unlocks his super mode again to do Hyper Burning Finger, Shining Finger, on the
Hyper burning
on the
high
waterfall
five.
because Rain was in danger,
So-
which should have been a dead giveaway. But hey,
And man doesn't understand his feelings about future waifu, okay?
19 next episode is Neo Rush's crew starts to focus on the Dark Gundam. Is like, no, this is a problem though. And Neo Russia wants nothing to do with it. It's like, listen, Dark Gundam, issue. We saw this thing. It's a problem. I like the leader of Neo Russia, by the way, the chick. She's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You get a bit too much of a scene with Saiseshi a bit later, like literally 10 minutes into the episode, but where you get also fighters experience PTSD showed by Saiseshi and Chibbity, which is neat. Argyle doesn't want to fight Saiseshi because he's
not
not in his full state. Yeah, he's not mentally there.
Yeah.
He's freaking out. He's just aggroing, and he's being an extra goof because he wants to. Because he's trying to
He wants to feel included.
He's Spider-Manning it.
He wants to feel included. That's
He's
the thing. He
Spider-Manning it.
feels
He's like
separate.
trying to
everything.
shake off his fear and stuff with just like, hey, I'm a jokester. Ha! Hey, look at this. Yeah. I don't need to train. I'm perfect. Yeah, Spider-Man does that all the time.
When?
Literally all that. That's why Spider-Man jokes so much. Is because he says in one of the few cool things about. He says in a bunch of comics. One of the few cool things from Marvel Zombies is in the beginning when he's talking to everybody, and his zombie is like, "Why do you always joke so much, you fucking spider?" And he's like, "It's because I'm usually terrified when I'm fighting villains. Like I'm just a kid. I was 15 years old when I started. I was going against fucking old criminals like Fisk that could break me in half, and I'm superpowered and he's human. Yeah, I was fucking scared. That's why I was joking around so much, because I would be like, hey, look, I'm so much better than you, I can not pay attention and fight you. Not pay attention and fight you, and it'd piss the villains off, so they would fight, like, without less focus because they're more angry. Like, how is this little kid killing me? Yeah, that was kind of the thing.
Killing.
I mean, like, when you're getting kicked with the force of a fucking truck.
Yeah.
Fisk is just a human. He's a really fucking strong human, but still just a guy at the end of the day. Bolt versus Dragon, which is very brief.
Yeah.
Most of the fights versus each other are very brief. I love how he tries to start the fight, though, of when Argyle chases him into the corner, kicks him, and Argyle just goes into his fighting mode and is just so focused. It freaks Saiseshi out to the point where he just jumps into the river.
Well, you can't blame him, though.
I don't know. Well, he took one kick to the neck and was like, yeah, gonna take
this is
more
too
than
much
that.
for me. I'm gone. Have a nice day. Fuck you. Yeah. It's a
That
fucking...
was a great episode. Also, you get to see how hot the actual Russian leader is.
Yep.
Where she's actually smoking more than just her fucking outward appearance is just like, woo. Oh, you also get the cool moment of Domon and Rain in this episode where he's looking to see what the noise is that's going on to the left while he's training, and he sees that Saiseshi gives a panty shot to him of Rain, and you don't have like an anime freak out of like, oh my god! It's more of a, you peeked, didn't you? And he just gets embarrassed and looks away. It's like, I didn't intend to, but it was there, and it's more realistic. It's less typical high school romance, let's say. Or not your typical high school romance. Or whatever that was. My typical high school romance couldn't be this weird. Or, of course, it was this weird or something. It's not that level of like, oh my god, you fucking pervert, get out of here, just running away. It's not that. Which is, giving a huge amount of credit. Next episode is French person versus other French person.
Wait.
Yeah, the revenge.
Where you get it like how he already had
the guy
PTSD
who
from
wins
the
by
past.
any condition.
That's so fucking... The tournament setup was so stupid for the French. Like, you had your king in a position where you could lose, and it's like an army of tanks couldn't take this thing down. So if, like, the wrong guy won, you just, like, so many people are dead. Just so many people. And, like, oh, look, the guy got salty that he lost because he was fighting like a shit. And everyone called him out on his shit. And he's like, oh, you can't do this to me.
I'm invincible.
I can kill all of you.
And he tries to stop it, but because he couldn't stop it fast enough, just ends up killing a bunch more people.
Yep.
And it's
As
like,
you do.
oh no.
I don't know. The funny thing I thought was like he's like, I escaped from prison and immediately
Ran into
found
Master
Asia. Like,
Yeah.
Might be a coincidence. Might be.
Maybe he was waiting. Maybe he saw it in advance.
Oh, shit.
Maybe he landed right next to him and realized, oh,
Bullshit, no
I'm already
G
here.
snaps. It's like he's just sitting there in the desert, Master Asia. Dude just pulled next to a Gundam. He's like, that's a nice Gundam you. The fuck did this guy come from?
I can make you a lot stronger. Sure.
Why, thank you. I don't know who you are. How do I pay you?
Gotta love the humble French butler pounding his coffee like alcohol. Of like,
Give me another shot of coffee.
give me another shot of coffee. It's like,
That's
what?
great.
Skin, even the bartender looks at him like, really?
That was
Coffee?
fucking great.
No, this is a bar, right?
Coffee, goddammit!
Give it to me.
Did I stutter?
I know I've had too much today, but I can eat more to get through my day.
That it's...
And on that point, like,
Did you say
God,
bushels
how
of coffee?
No.
unhealthy of a
So-
hobby that is.
Yeah.
Like, you think going out drinking beer's bad. You go out and you just start taking shots of coffee all day. You see what that does to your body.
Espresso. Give me an espresso double latte. Sir, this is your 8th shot. Do it!
Then you figure out, then the French dude's like the only person to figure out that he can heal. No, because Doman also heals because he was a crust. But the French person can also heal with just like a hug? Was it a hug? What was it? It was something. It was like
It was
a
a
hand.
penis shot.
But he heals the dude who was evil for some reason.
Because
I
it's
don't know.
French.
Because he's a good guy, but like,
Hour of the crest, that's what it is.
but he's like, no, I mean, like, I don't know why he heals them. He was an asshole anyways. Like, him giving into the Dark Gundam doesn't make him less of an asshole. Like, it's...
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't mean like he was actually any good.
He was
to
still an
begin-
evil piece of shit that tried to kill audience members. Like, what do you want? Like,
He's
why
gotta-
are you
he's
risking
gotta
yourself
be
to
a
save
nice
him?
guy.
But he's like, if I'm even worth this crest, I will save this man. It's like, I get it, but like, the other ones gave their life for that? I guess it's not in his head yet, but eh.
The only thing going through a French person's head is
Oh.
sweet pickets.
Which
That's
also
not
weird
that
that he
sweets.
got
They're good for 2 days, and then they get hard as rocks.
It was really
Yeah,
weird.
then you
It's
could
like
use
he
them
had
as
a fantasy
weapons.
about the princess. That was also kind of weird too. When he already admitted he didn't have emotional and like a serious relationship with her, I thought that was kind of weird. And he started having flashbacks of her, and he's like, "Princess, like
Yeah.
what? You had a whole
Well, he's
10-minute
kind of like,
monologue
yeah,
about
she is
that."
a cute little girl. By the way, she's way too young for him.
Yeah,
This
Yeah.
is like apocalyptic world scenario number
I
85.
get it, but he's like 16, 17, 18, 20. She's like 13.
Hey, look at Edgar Allan Poe.
He's waiting a couple years, is what I'm saying.
we don't.
She
Doesn't
has a
Edgar
crush
Allan
on
Poe
him, and
marry
he's like,
his-
I guess banging the princess would give me many ups. I would get like a clean shot to the... I'm in line to be king.
That's how you get up in the world, man.
It's technically not a bad idea.
Just fuck the princess.
So yeah. Then you get Master Asia in the next episode, interrupting Domon's training.
Oh my god, that's when they were doing that. This is my stratagem crap, and it's like none of you guys know anything about fucking strategy.
The dude
like,
again,
God.
Argyle.
What are you talking about? The whole finger him.
Argyle had a strategy. Master Asia's strategy was just
Shadow?
Was just swarm. I mean, he was diverting his forces. But Argyle said very specifically when they're getting attacked that he was going to use a diversion, that he's attacking immediately here with a stronger army to make it look like there's a lot of them coming this way, so you're going to divert forces that way to immediately block the spear front, but instead the spear front's coming from another angle. That's what the Argyle was, because he used that strategy when he was a pirate. He would attack with a small force that looked large from one direction, and then immediately swap to the other with a larger force to actually spear front your troops. That was the one strategy that was used. The rest of it was just Master Asia going like, this is my master plan of just, I'm going to swamp. That was his whole plan.
I can predict where you're going.
Swamp.
It's like,
you're literally just building 2,000 Zerglings, Master Asia. You're not doing anything. You're just...
You've never played co-op.
What do you mean? He's been playing Zagara.
Yeah, there you go. And Zagara is one of the best operators. Are you gonna disagree with that, Reddit?
No. She was better when you could build like 14 Baleen.
Yeah, and just have them spewing out Baleens.
Just never build a unit. You just 14 buildings and they make you enough units to win the game.
So as Master Asia interrupts the last moments right when Domon's about to break through into his hyper mode, his super mode, when he gets his Zen focus.
Super Ultra Mega mode.
He was right about to do it, had the sword, even went out to save Rain, killed some Gundam, killed mobile arms, mobile dolls. I believe Dark Army's mobile doll. No, it's not. Yeah. It's mobile arms because they're piloted. Shit. Yeah, they're piloted.
They're piloted.
Yeah, by the skeletons.
Yeah,
Boys, how did you like the metal skeleton design? Did you like the Dark Gundam metal skeletons?
Already dead.
Okay. I'll tell you, Shadow. This is the only thing I have written down. Let me explain something. Let me find a picture real fast. Continue on with your point, Shadow. I don't
know. I was just talking about how Domon breaks through the waterfall, saves Rain in the Gundam, gets in the Gundam. Just the whole scene. That's what I was talking about. You should probably already have it, but yeah, I mean, it should be uploading.
Fuck, I can't find a good picture. You know, some people haven't watched this.
But Master Asia's interrupts last moment's Domon's training because he's wanting to stop him from getting just calming down and figuring it out, and Schwartz is trying to push him to that. Just be calm when you activate hyper mode. What?
What actual episode? I'll just look up pictures from
21.
that episode. 21.
Oh,
okay.
But Dark Gundam, you want to look up at the city. What do you want?
I want the skeletons.
Then you want to look at the city.
You want to look up Dark Gundam Dark Army pilots. It's a Seshi panty shot in there. For some reason, I caught that out of the corner of my eye. Actually not getting much of the spoilers.
Okay, stop working, Shadow.
Yep. Dark, maybe on the wiki? Maybe on the wiki. Maybe Neofred. Nope, this is gonna have spoilers too. Just realized. That's the wiki. Why would that not have spoilers?
Okay, I'll just say it. I liked a lot of their designs because I like a lot of designs for basic troops. For instance, my favorite Gundam design is just the regular old dude from the basic series, like the green guy. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what the actual mark is, but
I mean, there's a lot of different models, but that's pretty much like the
that's my favorite model.
The Zaku, yeah.
Yeah, I like regular old troop choices, and these are just like a different version of that.
And then you have Char's Zaku Mark II, which is just
slightly
modified Zaku painted red.
Yeah. I like both of these models the best out of the whole entire series. And
I think if you looked around a bit more,
maybe
you would like some more designs.
But no, it's just those are my favorite designs.
By the way, did anyone see the Master Chief movie? The Halo movie? That is literally just the Spartan armor. Somebody made a Zaku girl, and it literally just looks identical to the Spartan armor from the Halo movie.
Yeah.
And questions. But the reason I like the Dark Army design, though, is like the way their troops work, is because they're incredibly redundant. I'm not redundant, but they have redundant mechanisms of like, like the aquatic troops, they're riding a missile. So they ride a missile into battle, and then they become land troops afterwards. That's kind of cool. The air troops, they're riding a flying jet, and they can detach from the flying jet and still become a ground troop. The ground troops, you can blow off two of their legs, but then their other legs will just form and they'll become bipedal instead of quadpedal. It's really fucking... It's cool. I like that.
They had a strange amount of thought put into them.
For just the garbage army troops.
Just cannon fodder. They had a lot of thought put into them. It was like, this is strange.
Well, I think it's like that because it shows, like, normal armies won't be able to beat this. Like, you won't be able to beat that with a normal army. There's just simply too much. Because, like, look at what it did to Neo Japan. Like, the Bright City turned it into a fucking... just a rubble heap with one building in the center that was being kept alive because it was feeding Dark Gundam energy.
Yeah, so, Master Asia was using it as a dinner plate.
Yeah.
So, Master Asia...
stylized dinner plate.
23 is when we start getting into the later, what ends up being more the later half of the series where it focuses less on story and more on fighting, is these last couple episodes. Domon versus Master Asia and Dark Gundam begins after they break through the Dark Army, because that's the episode where they break through the Dark Army. And you get to see Rain working on the Gundam with Domon, and Neo Russia not helping. Well, they're helping on, like, external repairs, I'm assuming, but, like, internal. No. I'm assuming they're helping on external repairs, because otherwise it'd be really hard to repair the outside of the suit. I'm assuming. But the internal cockpit is being worked on entirely by them.
They're all willing to work all in, so they're willing to get...
Because they had to get out of there. Yeah. Russia could have gotten out of there without everyone, but...
They don't want to steal all that information and use that to enhance their own... Not anyway. It isn't like they sat there. We didn't even mention that their whole plan was just
sit there and just steal Gundams.
Every pilot and then steal their Gundams.
That's what they were planning to do in the beginning to Domon.
80% of the episode, they were just trying to beat the answer of where is his Gundam, and they're like, well, this ain't working. Let's plan an escape.
Well, Russia started focusing more on Dark Gundam. Like the Neo-Russia captain focused way harder on the Dark Gundam after she got indoctrinated, because it became like the biggest threat, and she realized this is a bigger threat than literally anything else. So we should probably deal with the Dark Gundam first.
No, she realized it's bigger than the tournament will ever be.
Because once that goes widespread, it's over. Like, Earth is fucked, and then the colonies are fucked. Like, that's coming. Because imagine just like an army of thousands and thousands of thousands and thousands of troops just swarming the colonies. Like, they're not going to do shit.
Yep.
They might have a couple good fighters, but nowhere near enough, especially now with the Gundam fight. Because it'll happen right after the Gundam fight is over. So their fighters will be all wounded or broken down or dead even. It's like,
All the Gundams are going to be damaged. The things they would need to be able to properly fight that.
Because they would be left with mobile arms and shit. And it's like, that's not enough. It's not enough. Master Asia versus Dark Gundam. Break through the army. Domon defeats Master Asia and Dark Gundam. Kyoji ends up being Swartz. and Burning Gundam arrives.
Burning Gundam.
This is the first of 2 defeats the Master Asia have, where Domon just straight up beats him, and then he regens, but he still calls himself undefeated in the East. He's like, you can't walk away from me! I'm the undefeated of the East! And shoots. He's like, he predicted my move? It's like, oh no, really, you aggro asshole, he thought he was gonna let you walk him? He's like, sorry. And it's kind of cool, because you get to see how Domon actually cares for Shining. He's like, oh, that sucks. It sucks that I have to lose Shining Gundam like that. But he had to make the sacrifice to get to Burning.
Yeah, to get the better Shining, to get just the upgrade.
Better Shining, yeah.
A boy in his mech.
Domon ends up having to abandon Shining Gundam for Burning Gundam. At the end, when Master Asia attacks him again, he's like, I'm using the last of my energy to regen.
Fully regen.
Every last thing. This is it. I'm gonna stop you now. And Domon just goes, no. And just face plants him into the ground. And he explodes.
You my bitch now. And the whole time he's screaming, how can this be?
I'm the undefeated of the East. I would have loved it if Domon did a one-liner. It's not Domon's character, but I would have loved it if he's like, so long, defeated of the East. And it's just him going, no!
That would have been great if he did with that.
But Domon respects Asia too much. He wouldn't, like... He would kill him. He wouldn't torment him in the last moment.
Yeah.
He makes it to the tournament with a second to spare, but 4 people tried to stop him.
Because that's still going on. I forgot about that.
Well, no, it's question mark.
No, I mean,
the tournament.
No, I mean like the fucking. It was a shocker to me. It's like, oh yeah, this thing that could destroy the world. Oh, people still care about this fucking tournament. Okay.
Yeah, Shibidi, Nia Russia was trying to leave. They were all trying to leave at the moment because they couldn't fight in that position. So they were trying to leave because in an area filled with Gundams, they would stand a much better chance than surrounded by Dark Army. So
yeah,
it made sense. What do you
I
think
don't
about
know why they went there, but it's just like a shocker that people were still worried about the tournament.
It's because no one cares. They want to become the rulers.
Yeah,
that's literally it. They just don't care.
They want to build a rule space.
I mean, it's pretty public knowledge amongst all the officials, but they're just kind of letting it slide for right now because it's like, we'll deal with it after. We have important stuff to do.
They don't realize how big of a threat it is in most of the countries. Only really Japan knows, because that's really
only
that's
Japan and Russia,
and that's where it attacked.
I mean,
because
think about it.
Just the one lady, just the one official.
It's like if the fucking Satan came and just like everyone was still worried about who's going to win Sunday football.
That totally would happen.
That would still happen.
That would totally happen.
You joking? Satan would probably buy a team.
He would buy tickets. He would show up.
He would, if he did come to Earth, he would come out in the middle of a Sunday night football game. He'd come out during
Super Bowl
Super Bowl at halftime. You just pop out, bam, during an Aerosmith concert.
Oh God,
Aerosmith.
And they wouldn't get it. Like they're so fucking old.
It would be. I mean, they did the Doors a couple years ago. And they're just about as old, but they do AC/DC, and they'll be singing the Highway to Hell, and then he'll just come flying out the ground.
Okay. Back into the fight.
Yeah, well, I was gonna talk more about how the Rain, when she has to give Domon the battle data for Burning Gundam, he's trying to give Shining Gundam's battle data to Burning Gundam. That's what she's trying to do. For my head always says like Shining Gundam is the better one when it's not. It's Burning Gundam that's the better one. So as she gets into the control, she actually gets all the memories of Domon that he's had because the suit stores your memories that you had, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that's just because of the brain connection and whatnot that you have to have with the suit. So it would technically be an essence of you. And then it's like, oh, and everything's going past like all the events and what in order of like least important to most important. It's like Master Asia, and she's like, oh, this is the last one, Master Asia. And then she sees her pay on it. It's like, oh my God, he actually cares about me. He just doesn't know how to say it.
Aww.
And it triggers that
sweet.
moment of, oh, well, I liked you too. You were just weird. And it's like, yeah, guess we both didn't made that mistake. Which is neat. It's nice. It's a decent romance. It says that, yeah, they care about each other. They genuinely like each other, but we're not going to spend 100 years trying to get to that point. Cough, cough, typical high school romance.
Well, that's the only thing driving those type of shows for most part.
It's just
For the most
annoying.
part.
You know that show has a game, right?
What show?
Typical high school
novel.
romance.
Yeah,
There's a
it has
game
a
on the
light
Vita.
It's a light novel. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a game
Has
on the Vita.
dating sim.
Out of everything, a Vita game. Didn't expect. Anyways.
Pause the Vita song.
Here's the moment where I was like, wow, did Darling and the Frogs just... Whew. They just took that scene.
Politely borrowed some idea.
I mean, and again, that's fine. That's completely fine. Just whoever designed those mechs in Darling and the Frogs, do a better job. Better job. The faces, what G-Gundam had here was 1994, and it was tolerable. It was kind of dumb when their faces showed up in the Gundam helmet, yes. But literally making the mechs' heads, the characters' heads, even worse. At least this one you only saw it briefly. And a couple times seizure-inducing flashes of like when Domon's powering up the mech and it's flashing back and forth immediately to show this is one-to-one connection. Yeah. So it's just... But boy, did Darling and the Frogs just... Woo. I was shocked.
Some stuff.
I was shocked how accurate my brain was. Do you agree, Poison, that was literally just...
I don't want to, but yes, I agree.
It was pretty clear. It's hard to argue that, right?
It's hard to argue, even though I like the Darling and the Frogs make because it's new. Fuck.
All right. So,
something.
first half of G-Gundam. What does everyone think about it? I'll let y'all go first.
Okay, you'll end it off.
Oh,
Ladies first, Reddit.
That's rude.
sure, why not? I'll pretend to be the bit. I mean, we all know you are, but I'll pretend.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of the better Gundam shows, but it's still a Gundam show. It's kind of my opinion on it. I just have a natural bias against Gundam in general. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily bad. I don't think it's great. You know, I think the story's a little lackluster. I mean,
yeah, when you say when it's a Gundam show, you kind of like what you think about Gundam shows in general.
I don't like Gundam shows in general. I just never really got into them.
I
didn't really. Not really. They never really. I really never liked them. I mean, because they're usually too focused on the fighting. I liked the original, because the original kind of had that more psychological aspect to it, of more of a battle of what's right and what's wrong. Here, they just have an absolute evil and an absolute wrong and an absolute good. It just feels kind of. It just makes it feel kind of bland. It's like when I think of Gundam, I think like the Armor Ray and Char, and you got this whole psychological debate of I'm right, and he's like, but I'm right, and you're like, yes, you're both actually right. Fuck. Who the fuck do I want to?
Who do I want to win this fight?
Who's more right now?
Until space threw one of their cities into Earth.
We don't speak of that, okay?
And they kind of lose any moral standing. But we were forced to. You threw your own city into a planet.
Wait, stop, okay? It's like until that whole cycle.
That's like really early too. It's just a problem. Like if that one thing wasn't there, that story would be so much better.
Oh yeah, but it's just more about the whole premise of it, and I always find shows that do that really interesting, like, you know, Death Note, like Code Geass, you know, where it's not about the upfront action, it's more about the mental aspect of it, and I always find those shows really interesting. You know, and I feel like it's always kind of boring when you got like this group is super good and this group is super bad, and there's no shades of gray. You know, it's like I always like when there's a little bit of gray mix. It makes the story more interesting.
And here, the bad Kyoji, not the good Kyoji, but the bad Kyoji, is just because the good Kyoji is Schwartz. I didn't really talk about that, but he is.
Yeah.
In case that no one knew who the black-haired character was, it's Schwartz. Schwartz is Kyoji, for whatever reason. And there's another Kyoji that's in control of the Dark Gundam, but we don't know what real and what's
Yeah.
not there. That's left in the shadows right now because we're episode 25.
And shadows, get it? Shadows, you know, shadows.
But yes, this one is just you're following the good guys as they fight the bad guys.
Yeah, so it just always kind of it just feels the storytelling can never be super good in that aspect, you know. So the story always just takes a hit from me. Yeah, and it's good, especially for 1994. It was amazing back then. You know, it's still acceptable by today's standards. You know, like this was today, the fight would be acceptable, which is very impressive.
Shocking considering GT was like the only thing holding GT back really was its age. Like super hard.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that, like, for instance, it's all in the terms of art style. For instance, this art style carries more because of how it's designed. Let's take something like Call of Duty to Borderlands 1. Borderlands 1's always going to hold up more.
Yeah.
Well, personally.
Because here's the problem with that.
Again, you're bringing up
a
statement. You're bringing up a statement of objectivity of like what you
because it's more unique. That's my point. It's more unique, so I think it will hold up better.
Banner Saga.
Again, it's more opinionated stuff. You know, like I think Banner Saga looks. I think that looks horrible.
Because you can look at most of the pictures, and even if you never played the game, you can recognize Banner Saga because it's a long red flowing banner with a painted artly style, kind of. It looks nice. Looks pleasing. Even though it's kind of old at points when it gets up close, and the battle looks shitty, but everything else, like them walking, the screenshots, the Heart of Banner Saga is still really, like, has vibrant look to it.
I really was just thinking about more like, just back in the 90s, they didn't put as much detail into it. They were more about, like, if you look at a lot of old 90s shows, like, here's one. I'm not sure if you guys remember this one, Orphan.
Nope.
That's a really old one from the 90s, too. They're just really, they don't use a lot of detail. They use more bright colors. Everything's very colorful. Like all the worlds are very colorful. It's a lot of extreme brights and dark.
That scarf is very eccentric.
Rather than a lot of fine, intricate details. Where in this show, they put a lot of detail into the mech from very back then, which aged well. You know, it's like it aged very well. So, and that's why it would look good by today's standards because it's a similar level of detail compared to the past.
Poison.
Yeah. Okay, so I went in with an open head. I left out 50-50. Here's why. I like a lot of the mech design. Some Shadow doesn't like, but personal preference is personal preference. The only thing I had a problem with was some cringe moments of just being from the 90s. Like when he summoned his mech. It was a very cringy thing sometimes.
But just the extended, overly repeated like cutscene.
It's like
you're using cringe poorly.
No, I cringed.
Again, it's an opinion thing.
Yeah, people cringe at different things. People can watch what's that fucking vampire werewolf Ed versus Edward kind of thing. Twilight. People can watch Twilight and not cringe, Shadow. I watched Twilight and cringed my fucking eyes out.
It's just a boring show. It's just a boring movie.
Some people like it.
I watched all of them because they were on HBO and they're just really boring.
Objectivity.
Yeah.
What you objectively think is good, what you think is entertaining.
So
fine or poison.
That
is not the same. So
that kind of made it worse, but it also had some redeeming characters. That's also why I liked it. That's why I leave 50-50. I like some of the Gundams. I hated some of the Gundams. Apparently some that you guys liked. But I left with a overall 50-50 split. I feel like they could have done some stuff better. I feel like they did some stuff great. And I will say my favorite mech would be the fucking Neo Canada's mech.
The Bear Fighter.
Yes.
I spent 5 years fighting every bear
I could find.
Every bear.
I didn't care if it was a cub,
It's like,
I didn't care if it was.
like, let me just
I
clarify.
started with the babies first. Had to work my muscles.
1 second, no, he's like, let me
It would
clarify
make
one
the
thing.
mothers
I
angry.
am not a racist. I beat up all brown and black bears alike. We just clarify that.
Yeah. So overall, 50-50. I would give it because Red also didn't give out his.
Well, no,
I'm not giving it
we're
up
not
till
done with the
final
show
round.
yet.
We don't do the numbers till the final. Yeah, until we're done
Okay.
with the show. There's
Not
no
done
point
with
in
the show
doing it.
yet.
Yeah,
Well,
once
I
we're
can
done
already
with the show,
tell
then
mine because I've already done this 7 times, but it's good.
yeah, we're gonna hold off.
It's good. I like it. It's nostalgic for me. Either nostalgic didn't like push it above, but also didn't push it below either. It was just how I remembered. It's what it was. It was one of the few shows from my childhood. Probably not going to break past 7 because it's not that kind of show. It's again, it's like Dragon Ball. It's an entertainment type show. It's not meant to be like the most groundbreaking thing ever. Like, it's not meant to be a Death Note. It's not meant to be parts of FMA. You know, it's meant to be a weekly show. So for that, it's gonna probably be around that range. It's good. I like it. I actually love it. It's just
Some
it's my
parts.
favorite Gundam. I just don't like. I like some parts of other Gundams better, but this handles everything overall the best. Like, it controls everything in modern and like averages us out. So like the bad parts aren't as bad and the good parts aren't as great, but it's more an enjoying show to watch through and through because of it. So I like it. I have the least to say about it. It's a problem because I've watched it 7 or 8 times. So it's like, yeah,
You would.
it's G-Gundam. It's like, I've seen it so many times.
Question though: if Master Asia is the undefeated of the East, is the person of the West the ultimate defeated? Then,
No.
dang, that would have been
The person-
hysterical. Dude shows up and he's
The
like,
West
"I'm
is
the
Chimney."
defeated." He shows up, he's like, "I am the defeated." Some random dude.
I mean,
Another
Neo
weird
Mexico
comment, though.
Neo Mexico is air quotes dead. Neo Canada lost to Bolt, and Neo America is kind of
MIA.
no. He's like losing a lot. I don't think he won a couple fights. He won
Against
fights until Domon. He wins more fights off screen than on.
So, anyway, I had another comment, something that felt to me, but I'm gonna ask Poisonous. I know you will disagree.
Okay.
These episodes feel really long,
Yeah.
right? I'm not crazy.
You're not crazy with that
They
one.
feel like 18 minutes when you skip the intro and the outro. Like, they feel like a half hour.
Yeah, it
It's not
does.
that they're not-
I can't even like say reason why.
Yeah, it's like it's not boring. You know, it's entertaining.
It's not that it drags. It's that.
You're just watching it and it's just like when it ends, it's like that felt so fucking long.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I've never experienced. Usually, I can find a reason why.
Yeah, it's not that. Okay, so it's some. Something in my throat just now. I'm sorry. Some of that might have been was just around like 15 and 16. It really kicked for me. It could have been.
I felt it like in 7, like the whole show, just every episode for some reason. Like I'd watch an episode.
No, I felt like every episode. It's just
like I'm sitting here like. It's like I'm sitting here like. Was that a 40-minute episode? I look back, it's like 20 minutes. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Oh no, I felt weird. I mean,
It's
you
weird because
agree?
it progresses. It
agree,
progresses and
Shadow?
doesn't feel like it stalls really at any point.
No, it doesn't stall, but it just when you're watching the
And it
episodes, they
keeps
feel so
progressing,
much
it keeps
longer than they
moving.
are.
No,
Fine, it just feel. Do you agree?
it's an odd.
Yeah.
Is that
For
something you
some
feel
of the
too?
episodes,
Yeah. Do you feel that?
I don't feel like it
Feel-
hurts the show. It's just an oddity.
No.
No,
It's
do you-
just, I'm just saying in general. I ain't saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying
No,
it's
I'm
something
saying it's
that,
an oddity. Like,
yeah, I'm just saying like when you're watching.
because I
the show,
remember
it
the Mummy
feels
episode.
longer.
I looked down at my phone. I did something for like 20 minutes and looked back up, and I was because it was and Saseshi was still bitching about like, oh, I don't want to fight the Gundam. I was like, really? How long has this been? I checked. It's been like 10 minutes. I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
no, it's like it progresses properly. It's like the pacing isn't bad. It's just the show itself. For some reason, when you're watching it, you're like, it feels like more time passed than it really did. It's just a very weird feeling because there's nothing that stands out. It isn't like there's a lot of exposition. It just
If you
random-
want immortality, you watch this show. It's the closest you'll go to get. You're gonna get
Yeah.
extra time.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, there you go. Okay, so Shadow agrees too. I wasn't sure if Shadow was going to agree that. I thought Shadow was going to defend it. Like, you guys are crazy.
Well, no,
You
because
know?
it doesn't hurt the
It
show,
just,
but I
it
did
doesn't
feel
hurt
it
it.
at points.
You just feel it. It just when you're watching it, it's just like that felt a lot longer than 20 minutes. Cause that's just kind of feeling it left me. It's like, huh.
And
Just
I
got that
can't
the whole series. It was just a weird thing. It's like I can't point out why. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And it's way less than 20 minutes too, with the intro and the outro.
Yeah, it's 18 minutes. It ends up being like 16 minutes.
But it felt like 30.
Talker talking too, so you can skip that. But it's just weird. It feels like it's more like a half hour, and it's like it doesn't make sense because you're watching. You're like,
merited
it's
this?
not boring. It's not boring. It's not badly paced.
It's not losing my
entertaining.
interest. It's just feeling like it's taking forever, more time than it is.
It just feels longer. It just doesn't make sense. And it's like usually when something has that, you could find out. It's easy to point out what makes that happen.
Yeah,
but
I
this
don't know.
It's just
I
weird.
I was trying to think of that after you brought it up, and I don't know.
It's like a weird thing. Yeah, it's just a weird thing where it just feels longer than.
Like I remember seeing that during the Bolt fight towards the end, and I was like, "Wow, that was a long fucking episode. They did so much stuff." I think it's the way the pacing is, how it's so consistent, how it goes from one point to another. Most scene transitions are done well. So it feels like you're stuck in the same scene for a while, I think.
Maybe.
That might be a fact of like scene transition done bad.
No, that's actually good. That's actually good. That's what
done.
you want. It's just it's old, so it might seem like a bit of an oddity.
It's like
weird.
Basically, instead of making it feel like you're watching a bunch of different scenes that are like 1-2 minutes long, it's like watching one full 20-minute scene. And since
like
it's
you
hard
watch
to
one
maintain,
for like 6 or 7 minutes, and because you're not used to that, you
your
feel like there
brain's
should have been a break. It feels like it's
to
longer.
stay focused for that long. It's more about just like you're not able to stay focused for that long, so you kind of start drifting off a little bit, so time seems slower than it is. But I mean, yeah, it's still a weird oddity with this show. It's like I've never really seen it with any other show where I can't like say why the episodes taking so long. I wasn't sure if I even wanted to bring it up because I think they're just going to say I'm crazy. And then they're going to have that shit on recording.
No, it's just kind of like I have literally my best possible guess is that what I just said. And like it being kind of old, so it doesn't seem as smooth. So you still see hitches, but it's still not like there's still hitches, but it's not flawless. So it's not like you're in the moment because you're still seeing hitches and it breaks you out, but it's just weird.
Again, it's just a weird oddity with this. Something else I brought it because it's something I've never experienced with any other anime in the thousands of hours since the mid 90s.
Yeah.
I've never seen a show kind of like do that, be entertaining, and feel so much longer than it is. Usually if it's entertaining, even if it's entertaining, you're like, oh man, it's already over. It's like here, it's like it's entertaining. You're entertained at the end. You're like, God, that was so long. You look at your clock, you're like,
yeah, because I remember checking the timer on the episode a couple times, and I'm like, this is only halfway.
Yeah,
I thought I saw the break twice already.
It's like I see the break, and I'm like, oh, okay, here comes the outro, and I'm like, what? It's continuing.
Next time on Dragon Ball, right now.
The music was good in this. We already talked about that though, so yeah.
Yeah,
the music was good because it's classical. Yeah.
Okay, so next.
Are we doing G-Gundam again, or are we gonna swap?
I think we just finished. I think we'll just do the show.
Yeah, so we can either
G-Gundam. Let's just finish up G-Gundam and then Poison come at the show.
Okay, because
something that we can do in like 2 runnings, as long as it's within 2 settings.
Okay. So just second part.